All right.
Good morning. Thank you for your patience. The Finance Committee meeting is called to order. Today is, what is today? It's Tuesday, April 23rd. Thank you. And the time is 9:39. All members are present, that being Alderwoman Finlayson to my right and Alderwoman O'Neill to my left. My two colleagues, Alderwoman Pendle Charles and Alderman Arnett, are also here. I'm going to just approve the agenda in the minutes, and then I'll go to U.S. business. At this time, I'll accept a motion to approve today's agenda, which is limited to community grants.
Motion to approve today's agenda?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. At this time, I'll accept the motion to accept the meeting minutes from yesterday.
Move approval of the minutes from yesterday's meeting.
Second?
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Okay, we can immediately proceed with business of the day, but before we do so, we do have our budget analyst to speak to us, and I always get the title wrong.
That's okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Budget Manager Katie Conley.
Budget Manager Katie Conley.
Just want to make a quick statement. In dedication to transparency, I wanted to state on the record that I'm a board member of Annapolis Pride, who is a recipient of a community grant in the mayor's proposed budget. I want to be clear that I was not involved in the application or selection process. The budget team's only role was to provide a total amount of community grants to the selection team, and they allocated those funds as they saw fit. That is also why the budget team will not be in attendance today. This process did not include us at all. I have no voting power and therefore do not technically have to recuse myself, but to keep the integrity of our work, I wanted to make a statement to disclose my involvement in the organization that is seeking the funding, and therefore want to avoid advising council of any matters involving the distribution of funds. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we have that document as a matter of record? You can send it to our city council associate.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your transparency.
You guys can use Granicus.
Okay. I'm hearing that we are loaded up on Granicus. Okay, just give us a moment. Okay. Why don't you introduce yourself, and you can start with the first applicant. Parameter, sorry. We're going to go back to back. Very brief presentations. There's a lot of you, and you know that your presentation is limited to we have here a 3 to 5 minute window. And we will not ask questions. We're going to be writing them down and submitting them to you at the end of the day, maybe, or, before the next day, which is tomorrow. And our cutoff is 1:45, and we're really going to try to have a 10-minute break at 11:15, 10-minute break. So with those parameters, can you proceed when you are comfortable?
Great, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Aisha Young, the new OCS manager or community engagement administrator, and we can go ahead and get started. I'm going to lean towards the 3-minute mark if we can, but if you do need 5 minutes, we are allocating 3 to 5 minutes, and we'll start with Annapolis Pride first with Joe Tulin. Thank you. Where would you like him to stand?
Come to the table.
Oh, please come to the table. Make sure that your mic is on.
With the mic, you can just hit
What's
push.
that?
Yep, there you go.
We need you to introduce yourself, your title, and your address.
Okay. I'm Joe Tulin. I'm the chair of Annapolis Pride, and my address is 55 Regatta Bay Court, apartment 356, Annapolis, Maryland 21401.
Thank you.
And just to give a little bit of background on Annapolis Pride, our mission is to advocate for, empower, and celebrate the LGBTQ plus community in Anne Arundel County to live fully and authentically. And our vision is a safe, equitable, and anti-racist community where people of all identities thrive. I just want to give a really brief background into our history. I'm not going to go through all of the points, but hopefully you all can look at the PowerPoint more in depth later. But in 2018, a group of our founding board members asked for the city of Annapolis to proclaim June Pride Month. In that proclamation, we also were asked to hold a parade and festival the next year. And so we did that. In 2019, we hosted the first Annapolis Pride Parade and Festival. It was very well attended. We probably had about 8,000 folks come into Annapolis to show their support for our community. In 2020, as people know, the pandemic hit, and so we had to shift some of the work that we were doing. And we decided to host an all Black Lives Matter march with Black leaders in our community after the murder of George Floyd and kind of continued uprising in our community. Next slide. In 2021, we did a lot of work outside of this as well. We also could not host a parade and festival in 2021 due to continued concern about the COVID pandemic and some of the work that we were doing. And so we did work to pass a Safe and Inclusive Schools Act at Anne Arundel County Public Schools that year. In 2022, we finally got to have our second annual parade and festival after a lot of restrictions ended for the parade and for COVID. And so really great to do that. And we started looking at how we could expand our programming. So in 2023, we had our third parade and festival. We also were able to receive a 2024 community support grant from the city. And with that grant, we looked to host a series of panels about safety and supporting our LGBTQ community here in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And so we were able to do that. We had our first panel, which was a community conversation with our police. As people know, the LGBTQ community and police, as well as communities of color, tend to have some tension there. And so we wanted to bring people together to have that conversation. And then during 2024, we did a couple of other things. So we hosted another panel that was focused on health and safety for LGBTQ plus youth. That one was able to be held in coordination with Anne Arundel County Public Libraries. And we brought together Dr. Tony Gedden, who's a health official, Amy Miguez, who's from the Annapolis Police Department, and Smith Broadwell, who's a licensed therapist, to talk about the ways in which we need to support our LGBTQIA plus community here in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. We're also going to be hosting a panel this June for Pride Month that will focus on the BIPOC, so Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and LGBTQ history here in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And that first grant also allowed us to be able to get the equipment to record those panels and post them on social media as well. Part of that grant also helped cover the cost for an admin assistant who has really helped us to kind of streamline our background. So in our 2025 proposal, we have a couple of things that we're really looking for support with. One of them is that our current website is a little bit out of date and unfortunately has a lot of kind of issues on the back end. And so we're looking for support to kind of rebrand our website. We do have a little bit of a branding problem, and we want to be able to share all of the work that we're doing outside of just a parade and festival, because we are more than just that as an organization. We are also partnering with Anne Arundel Community College this year to focus on refining our resources page to provide more resources that directly support our community here in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And we also are looking to bring on a communications contractor. So we have one board member who volunteers all of her time to do all of our communications, and it's a lot of work for just one person. And the last piece is continued support for our administrative assistant. We are, up until last year, an all-volunteer board, and so we spend a lot of time outside of our 40 to 60-hour day jobs volunteering for this work. And our administrative assistant really helped us streamline things last year through Salesforce, and we're looking to set up a project management software in Asana this year. So those are the big things that we're looking for support with this year. And I just end with some of the pictures of the work that we've done over the past couple of years. So I want to thank you all for having us today and for letting me present on our grant.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
40 seconds left.
Up next, we'll have Chanel Compton with Banneker Douglas Museum Foundation.
Greetings, Chair, members of the University Council. My name is
The
Chanel
mic's not on.
Oh, hit push on the
Just
mic.
press
Yeah.
the green button.
There you go.
Okay. Greetings, Chair, members of the Annapolis City Council. My name is Chanel Compton Johnson, and I serve as the Executive Director for the Maryland Commission on African American History and Culture in the Banneker Douglas Museum. The Banneker Douglas Museum serves as Maryland State Museum on Black History and Culture, and we have some very profound youth programming occurring right here in the city of Annapolis. We have an after-school program with Robin Wood Community Center, as well as our Museum on a Move program with Annapolis High School, centering Maryland civil rights history. So this year, we worked with students and BDM educators, BDM meaning our museum educators, to research and explore African American history and culture, really focusing on civil rights history in Maryland and throughout the U.S. All year long, students attended field trips, worked with our educators to learn and explore Black history and culture throughout the state of Maryland through field trips to heritage sites and so much more. So, Museum on the Move, this summer, we are culminating with a trip to South Carolina, doing a comparative analysis of Black history in Annapolis, being a major slave port and a major site of civil rights history, with Charleston, South Carolina being also a major slave port and a site of major civil rights history, most notably studying the Gullah Geechee culture. Some project goals include providing opportunities for students to learn and explore Black history and culture through customs, traditions, languages, and a way of life. Also to promote statewide Annapolis Black history, art, and culture, and Black resistance movements in Annapolis and its impact throughout the nation. And thirdly, we are seeking to have a profound cultural exchange with our young people, taking them on this hands-on living classroom experiences. Some outcomes will include personal growth and education, dialogue and discourse. So after students go on this year-long experience, they will be presenting, these are high school students, by the way, they will be presenting what they've learned, what they've researched, their discoveries at our civil rights-themed symposium, which will occur in October 2024. Some trip details. This is a 4-day trip to South Carolina, 30 students with 7 chaperones. They will go on site visits to the International African American Museum, Fort Sumter, the Slave Mart, the historic Slave Mart in South Carolina. And students, most importantly, will engage with other young students in South Carolina and museum practitioners to explore the Gullah Geechee culture, which is an African American diasporic culture in South Carolina. And it's going to be phenomenal. This is a quote from our director of programs, Sabria Hassan Ismail. She is the brainchild to this incredible program, and she states, "Embracing the depth of their history, our young people unlock the boundless potential of their future, making every step forward an exhilarating journey." Please, we ask for your support. Yes, I said please. I'm not too proud to beg. On behalf of the young people of Annapolis to take this journey to learn and center African American history, art, and culture as a tool of empowerment, and so much more. So thank you.
Thank you, Chanel.
Thank you.
We don't have applications.
All right, next up, we have Rebecca Tingle with Anne Arundel County Council.
Excuse me one second.
CASA. Thank you.
Ms. Young.
Ms. Young?
CASA. What am I saying?
I'm on mic, aren't I? Hi, a couple of criteria here. For my colleagues, it's very important that, because it just seems sort of random, but you have to look at Code Section 6.16060, where the criteria is for the basis of awarding the grant. It's very important, okay? You know, I wish we had that in front of us, but it is 6.16.060, and the criteria is in section D, E, and F. And then also, if you, so that we are in line with your request, Could the applicant reiterate what their fiscal year 2025 grant request is, so that we're on the same page?
Madam Chair, may we ask, maybe Ms. Lee can be doing this while the presentations are going on. We don't have any applications, so we don't have anything other than the presentations that are being presented, and it would be helpful, answer a lot of questions for us, if we could have that information in front of us.
Okay. I shared the award summary. Did you all not get that?
I'm sorry?
I shared the document, like the award summary, that also tells how much they're asking for.
I'm looking for all the details, how many people they impact and all of that, which is in the application, correct?
Oh, okay. You're looking for all that. Okay.
So we really need the application, not just what they're requesting.
Just like what they're requesting. Okay. I
Yes,
got what you're
thank
saying. Okay. We ready?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Ready? Okay. Good morning, members of the Annapolis City Council. My name is Rebecca Tingle, and I'm the Executive Director of Anne Arundel County CASA. My address is 8 Church Circle, the Circuit Courthouse for Anne Arundel County, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. Our mission at CASA is to provide volunteers to advocate for and support abused and neglected children in the court system to ensure their right to safe, stable, and permanent homes. CASA is the name of our organization, and it's also what we call our volunteers. We are part of a network of CASA programs that extends across the United States. We're one of just under 1,000 CASA programs. Our local program opened our doors in 1997, and we have been serving the abused and neglected children of our community since. So we only serve children who have been adjudicated as SINA. That's a legal term that stands for Child in Need of Assistance. The children that we serve, unfortunately, are in foster care due to abuse and neglect through no fault of their own. It's a diverse ethnic group of children. They range in age from birth to 21. 50% of their parents have either substance abuse or mental health issues. About 20% of our children are substance exposed, and they themselves, 50%, have mental health diagnoses as well. We know that abused and neglected children are the most vulnerable children in our community. And we at CASA share the same priorities as the City of Annapolis Community Grant Program, and we appreciate this opportunity to be here before you this morning. Not to spend a lot of time on the statistics and demographics, but you can kind of get an idea of what the children looked like in fiscal year 23. That's our fiscal year July 1 to June 30. The one thing I wanted to point out is 71% of the children that we're serving, the reason that they're going into foster care, it's because of the chronic long-term neglect. Next slide. So at CASA, what we do, our job is to recruit and train volunteers. So to be a CASA volunteer, you just have to be 21 years of age and have a desire to help children. We do a very thorough background check and an intensive training program that's a combination of class time and home study. So at CASA, the volunteers will learn about the judicial and child welfare system. They'll learn about how to write a formal written report to the court. They will look at the impact of family issues, and always with an eye towards collaborating and preserving the culture of the child that we are assigned to. The CASA volunteers, they are immersed in all aspects of the child's life. They're visiting weekly, if not then bi-weekly. They are reviewing all of the court and Department of Social Services records, and they're gathering information from everyone that's involved in this case. There are a lot of professionals in these cases, many attorneys, therapists. It's the CASA's job to be there to gather all of this information, to look at what the court has ordered that needs to happen for parents to get their kids back, and they are there to make sure that these services are actually happening, so that children do not linger in foster care. The focus is always towards ensuring that a child finds a safe, loving, and permanent home. And we are the only program in the county that's providing this unique service. Well, how well do we do what we do? 100% of the court reports that our CASA volunteers submit to the court, they were accepted by the judiciary. Of the multiple, like over 1,000 recommendations that are in the various court reports, 85% were ordered by the court. And our judges tell us, time and time again, they want a CASA appointed to every SINA case, that they read the CASA court reports before they hear from anyone else in the case, because they know that we do not leave anything out. Our agenda is truly what's best for that child. And the CASA court report is the most objective and unbiased document. So our outcomes for last fiscal year, we had 96 volunteers assigned to 132 children, serving 89% of the population. Our goal is to provide a CASA to every child in foster care in our county. Just moving along, so in interest of time here, it's important to note, though, that of the 44 children whose cases closed last year, 97% of the children found a safe, loving home. In our grant, we requested $15,000 to be used towards general operating, which would be split evenly amongst 3 of my staff. There's only 6 of us on staff, and we're only about 4.8 FTEs. So my program coordinator, who supervises volunteers, she's also responsible for the training of volunteers and basically the overall programmatic administration, and then my 2 other case supervisors. This would help to contribute towards our goal, this funding of providing a CASA to 100% of the SINA population. And our goal for the fiscal year to come is 140 children. Hopefully more, but at least 140. Why would you want to invest in CASA? Well, we are a sound investment. We make an extensive use of volunteers. Last fiscal year, we had almost 11,000 hours, which translated to just under 350,000 in service back to the community. Our office space is donated, our office and parking, everything that goes along with that. And we have the funds would go directly towards our supervisor hours to handle the existing caseload and build upon that. So the infrastructure is already in place. And 94 cents on every dollar goes directly to program services.
Okay, some concluding remarks.
We good? Say that again.
Conclude.
Conclude. So that's it. Thank you very much. Children with a CASA will spend less time in care, will receive more services, and they will have that one consistent adult who's there advocating for their best interests. So I thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Excuse me?
Okay. We thought the clock was malfunctioning, that's all.
Oh, okay.
We're good.
Okay, and what I'm going to do, just so there is a little bit of structure here, is the next one is the OIC presentation, and for my colleagues, it is under Education Programs for Adults, and their grant request is for $60,000. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am, that
Okay,
is.
it works. I'll try to do that. I will do that for each presentation. So
Okay.
because we have a little blip in Annapolis Pride. We'll talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
Okay.
And we have Jesse, I don't want to destroy you, Radalis.
Dollars. Good evening. I'm sorry, good morning. Thank you for always supporting the OIC of Anne Arundel County. I'm going to skim through some of these slides, but I did bring a physical presentation for each one of you. My name is Jesse Radalis. I'm the Executive Director of the OIC of Anne Arundel County. Our address is 251 West Street, Annapolis, and our zip code is 21401. We can't do this alone, so we thank you for always supporting the OIC of Anne Arundel County. Our mission is to provide low-income people with the tools and support to overcome barriers to economic opportunity and social justice in America. We envision a world in which all people are contributing members of their families and communities. OIC of Anne Arundel County was established in 1977, and we are one of 26 OICs left in the United States. Last last month, our OIC was asked to come to Capitol Hill and to speak to our representatives about the wonderful work that we are doing. We are also the only OIC to be 100% virtual since the pandemic. I feel that we need to adapt to change, and so far, everything has been going well for us. We get funded to service 50 participants or 50 families. Currently, we are at 173 enrolled for just this year alone. The OIC program removes the number one obstacle of all nonprofits, which is transportation. So that's the major plus for the virtual learning, as well as our basic computer classes, because you cannot go and apply for a job and ask for a physical application anymore. You're given a link. So all of our students are equipped to go online and take the, apply for their jobs. And also the GED testing is online only. You can't go anywhere and do a physical GED test. It's all online. Our impact. Through the virtual day and evening courses, we have served more than 1,000 participants since March of 2001. OIC is looking in the future to produce our OIC STEAM program, which is called STEAM Into the Future, and it's to help Black and brown kids, which this will also be in your packet. Let's move forward. As I said, currently we've enrolled 173 participants in our GED and Career Pathways class. There's 107. In our GED Spanish class, there's 48. In our ESL class, there's currently 18. So we've exceeded the 50 families that we are annually funded to support. This right here is an example of some of our highest performing students. And as you can see, one has graduated as of yesterday. The other ones are right on the cusp of graduating. This is also in our reporting that we provide for you. And as a testimonial, this is Donna Johnson. Some of you may know her. She just registered for our GED program about 2 weeks ago. And in our closing remarks, I'd like to play this quick 30-second YouTube testimonial from our very first virtual graduate.
Let's see if I can play it.
If you hit Control and then click on it, it should play.
You're so smart.
If you hit Control at the same time.
I got it. I said, you're so smart.
I'm 21, and I just completed my GED. I left high school a few years back, and I was unsure of what to do and what the next steps to take. And so I went looking for a program, and I found OIC of Anne Arundel County. And they offered a GED virtual program. And it wasn't easy, the process was hard, but I can proudly say I have my high school diploma because of them. And if I can do it, you can do it too. My name is Annie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Could I leave you guys with the...
We have it on there.
Yeah, we have the electronic copy.
Thank you.
We have a little bit of cleanup on aisle 3 here. This chart, no, this chart is there's organizations that are listed twice.
Okay.
Okay. So far, that has happened to Pride, CRAB, OIC. Can you look at that?
Which chart are you looking at?
I'm looking at the Appendix E. As it's attached to the budget ordinance.
I don't know that chart.
It's Appendix E, City of Annapolis. Your recommendations are in the last column, so you must have it. Okay.
I'll follow up.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure that the math is correct, and I don't have time to check it right now. Okay, sorry. Next is, go ahead.
Hey, how y'all, is my mic on? How y'all doing? My name is Brock Anderson. I'm the founder of Club 164. I've lived in Annapolis, Maryland for over 21 years now. I have 3 daughters that I raised in Annapolis, Maryland, went to Hillsmere, Annapolis Middle, and Annapolis High School. The reason I tell you all that is I'm very, very, very passionate about Annapolis. I'm also very passionate about recovery. I've been in recovery for 33 years. I've also been in the restaurant business now for 50, and I've owned my own company for 21 years. What I realized after 33 years in recovery about 10 years ago is the statistics are getting worse. The problem's not getting better in spite of all the great work people are doing, sober houses, halfway houses, treatment centers, hospitals, which I'm familiar with all of them. And we have numerous facilities in the city of Annapolis and surrounding areas. The drug problem is not improving. So as I was going around from restaurant to restaurant, what I realized is, when I started thinking about it, is there is no facilities that are state-of-the-art that are built to cater to people who choose to live without drugs and alcohol. And that's when the turning point came. And I got with my business partner, and I told him what I was thinking, and I said, I really believe we need to start a nonprofit, and that was the mustard seed that started Club 164. 10 years later, or 3 years ago, we opened Club 164 with a loan from the steakhouse and a loan from individuals. It was about a facility that cost over $500,000 to build, and it cost over $280,000 to run annually. We are asking for $50,000 to help us with the general operating cost. The facility is located right next to the Annapolis Mall. Interestingly enough, as I've been listening to the presentations here today, every one of those people that they're catering to use our facility except one group. Our facility has over 52 12-step meetings that take place a week. Our facility provides holiday meals for every holiday functions during every holiday. It's also now currently being used by people who aren't even in recovery, who just want to get away from the alcohol and drug scene. Our facility recently, with the help of the county, started offering free daycare 7 days a week. Any parent can bring their kid there if they want to just have a cup of coffee. They can get away for a little bit, or if they want to go ahead and go to a meeting or anything else to enhance their recovery, they can do that as well. I can tell you last February, March, after being in recovery for 33 years, I can tell you last February, March, there was over 21-year celebrations at Club 164. And I can tell you from being in recovery 33 years, that is a staggering number that I have never even heard of coming close to. Club 164 is a new idea to finally change the narrative on being sober. It's a 20-year vision that my kids one day, or my grandkids, when they go to the high schools in the area, if they don't drink, they will be looked at just as normally as kids who do drink. The pause will go away when you're at a neighborhood party and you say, if someone offers you a beer and you say, I don't drink, that pause will go away. You'll go to a tailgate, maybe 20% of the cars out there will not be drinking. That's the long-term vision of Club 164, is to change the narrative, just like we did on smoking years ago. Smoking used to be cool. Today we all get it. The idea of Club 164 is drinking, we got to take it to the place where it's now just as normal not to drink as it is to drink. That will never happen if we don't have state-of-the-art facilities run professionally to achieve that goal. Club 164 in Annapolis is the first. Over the next 5 years, I hope to get 5 to 6 in the state of Maryland. And then after that, I'd like it to go nationwide. So we really need the government's help. We have I've got handouts here that are going to show letters from Avenues, the Drug Court of Maryland, Hope House, that are going to show how beneficial it's been for all of them. It also has a list of some of the major donors, Lexus of Annapolis, Annapolis Nissan, major companies that have bought into what we're trying to do. But we also need the government's help. We were fortunate enough to get the county 2 years ago, the state last year, but it's still not enough. So we're asking you all to help support us in our mission in the area, in the Annapolis area, and help us out with $50,000 to keep the thing going. Okay? And I'll leave these with her, and she can hand these out to you. These are all the letters from the companies. Okay?
Thank you.
We would really appreciate any help you can give us.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you very much.
For my colleagues, that was under homelessness, addiction programs, Club 164, and as he said, the grant request for 50. Next is Crab, but I don't see.
So we have Rebecca Gonser.
Hello.
Did I say that right?
Yes, you said it right.
So Crab is under category 4, and their grant request is $3,500. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I think everybody here is familiar with CRAB. We bring the thrill and freedom of therapeutic value of sailing to people with disabilities, wounded warriors, and youth from underserved communities. And today we're actually celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the opening of the Annapolis Adaptive Boating Center.
I'm going to have to interrupt and ask you to, and everyone else, say your name and your address.
Okay, sorry.
No problem.
My name is Rebecca Gonser, and the CRAB's address is 7040 Bemby Beach Road, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403. So CRAB offers its programs free of charge to members of the community with disabilities, recovering warriors, and youth from underserved communities. This year, we're introducing new programs, including adaptive fishing and radio-controlled sailing. We have, in the past, been able to offer group sails, sailing clinics, and regattas, all on our 6 Beneteau 22A adaptive sailboats. We recently acquired a powerboat that is a Gemini 39 freestyle powerboat that will provide the opportunity for people in our service area to enjoy fishing and boating and learn boating techniques and safety on the water. This is a photo of our fleet. You can see our adaptive 22A Beneteau on the top. We have a Sip Puff Martin sailboat for people with paraplegia. And then this is the powerboat, the Gemini powerboat that has been adapted so that wheelchair users don't have to leave their wheelchairs on the docks anymore. They are able to transfer onto the boat directly. We learned through talking with many of our guests that leaving their wheelchair behind can be anxiety-inducing for the first time, especially if it's someone who's very dependent on their wheelchair. There's life-saving, equipment involved in their wheelchair. So now we have eliminated all barriers, so every Annapolitan can enjoy the water and be a part of the community that we all value here in Annapolis. To our guests, when they pull into the Adaptive Boating Center, it means freedom. It means inclusion. It means that they are no longer barred from a part of society that, without our help, they wouldn't have the opportunity to enjoy. Annapolis is a boating community through and through and has a long, steep history in boating and fishing and sailing, and we are able to provide this service to members of our community completely free of charge and give them the joy that many of us take for granted every day. Our youth sailing camps that we're asking for support of our youth sailing camps through this grant. The youth sailing camps are provided in partnership with the City of Annapolis Police Department. We work with resource officers who come to the Adaptive Boating Center with students from underserved communities, and we teach them sorry, I lost my spot. They learn, team building skills. They learn leadership skills. They receive, self-esteem, and it improves their relationships with the resource officers. They make connections with community leaders, and provides them the opportunity to see another avenue that's possible through collaboration and working within the community. This is our sailing area, so you can see it's quite large. The Adaptive Boating Center is in the bottom right. Kids are able to get on our boats and enjoy the Severn River and the Chesapeake Bay. And these are sites that many of our kids have never even thought about or seen before. They grew up adjacent to the water, but they have never had the opportunity to see the freedom of what it can offer or feel the wind in their hair and enjoy, what is a part of our community. We've had kids, when we sail by the Chesapeake Bay, Chesapeake Bay Bridge, say, "I'd never seen that before." And that's amazing. How did that get built? Who built it? And they start showing interest in things like the engineering behind it. We see kids get excited about, tying a cleat hitch and wanting to learn more about the boating industry. So we really are a foothold into that entire, that whole world for these students. We do it through all of our programs are completely free of charge through support like this from the City of Annapolis and other private foundations. We are able to ensure that anyone who wants to access what we provide, they're able to do it, without any barrier.
Thank you for concluding. Thank you. And what was your title again?
I'm the Vice President of Development.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Okay.
All right. Now we have Omar Assad with Compass Rose Theater.
Okay, and so for my colleagues, that is under education programs? Maybe not.
Thank you,
It's under category 3, Compass Rose Studio Theater, and I don't have a grant request number.
I have that here.
Oh, okay, you're in another place. Yeah, we really got to fix this. 25,000, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. It's under education programs for children, youth. And it's under education programs for children/youth.
Young Actors Studio and theater classes and camps in Compass Rose Theater. We're located at 8 Chase Street.
Oh, you're on the last page.
Oh, sorry, 801 Chase Street. That's Maryland Hall.
The first page. Okay, thank you.
Yes. In the interest of transparency, hi guys, good to see you. I am here in the stead of Barbara Weber, Executive Director. My name is Omar A. Saeed. I am a teaching artist, and a performer at Compass Rose Theater. Just so you know. Yes, we are here to request an amount of $25,000 for the Young Actors Studio and preceding theater classes and camps for young people. I'd like to start with a quote. We do not stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. George Bernard Shaw. Secondly, art is not a mirror to reflect society, but a hammer with which one shapes it. We are dedicated to theater arts as well as educational services. We are fully invested in that world. The post-pandemic, there's an increase in production costs from getting acquiring the rights to plays and hiring technical experience, such as myself. And our new budget should reflect those needs. This year will be, we are approximating to serve about 100 young people since last year, and we intend on serving up to just shy of 200 in the next year through classes and producing 3 professionally produced plays during the next 12 months. Compass Rose Theater respectfully requests this grant from the City of Annapolis to support our Young Actors Studio. Youth will audition for a place in the Young Actors Studio. A cohort of 10 to 15 middle and high school students for a year-long program commitment. With coaching, they will put on at least 3 public stage plays during the 12-month period. Funding will also be used to hire teachers and offer scholarships to underserved communities, including creating a safe haven for members of the LGBTQ community. As you could have guessed, as a theater organization, we've been doing that for centuries. We found that in the last years, programs like Young Actors Studio have increased in reading comprehension, as well as public speaking abilities, communication skills, and even up to scholastic aptitude testing. We've noticed spikes in those young artists that we've interacted with. Let's see here. Oh, there you go. This is Gavin Fernandez and Ariana Hill. They are hired through Maryland Service Year Option with Compass Rose. They've been my right hands and lovely interns, and we've had a blast working for this theater. Barbara Weber does just about everything, and she's been incredible to work with. And as you can see from our pictures here, there's a lovely, homely feeling to our group, what we do. We teach everything from, I'm sorry? Oh, yes. In conclusion, we thank you for your consideration.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are these on the house here?
Those are for you.
Oh,
Yes,
thank you so much.
Yes, I know you probably all have low sugar. Yes, take as many as you need.
All right, now we have Joanne Madison with Start the Adventure in Reading, STARE.
Okay. Okay, so for my colleagues, STARE is, I highlighted it and I can't find it.
I just pulled up what you sent me. Okay.
Yeah, it's under education programs for children slash youth.
Okay.
And their request is for 15,000. Is that correct? Hi, Joanne.
Hi, how are you? I thought it was 10, but I'll take 15. It's been a while since I've seen you all. Nice to see you. I didn't bring a PowerPoint, sorry, but I should have done, because I would love to show you photos of our wonderful kids.
Address.
Oh, Joanne Matson, I'm the Executive Director of Start the Adventure in Reading, STARE. We are located at 171 Duke of Gloucester Street, right across the street there. Our program was originally founded as a mission project for First Presbyterian Church. So although we have moved on to a separate 501c3, they continue to provide us with offices and other support, which is absolutely wonderful. So we have grown since 2006 to a separate 501c3. As I said, we are currently serving in 12 schools, serving 100 children, and what we provide is a literacy intervention program for first and second graders who are reading below grade level. We match these children with trained volunteers who work with them one-on-one twice a week for a total of 2.5 hours a week. And this is a program that has it's Orton Gillingham-based instruction, but it's also full of a lot of fun and wonderful things, reading to the children, having the children read to our tutors. They develop incredible relationships with one another, and our children improve an average of 4.7 reading levels a year. And most of our children in the program are reading a grade level by the time of the program's end. We are blessed with a committed group of more than 200 volunteers. We're currently, as I said, serving 103 students. And our program aligns with priority number 2 of Maryland's strategic plan, Ready to Read, which identifies the goal of all Maryland students as being proficient in reading by the end of 3rd grade. This is a critical time to reach these children. We used to target second graders. We have now targeted first graders as well, because children learn to read through second grade. After second grade, they're reading to learn. And if they miss that critical building block, they continue to fall further and further behind their classmates. And this leads to functional illiteracy, which is actually, I would consider, I have learned now that it's pretty much a hidden epidemic in the United States. This is a shocking statistic. Almost 1 in 5 citizens in the United States are functionally illiterate. You may not see that in your day-to-day. I may not see that in my day-to-day, but I'm telling you, when I was executive director of the Lighthouse, I did see it. And I saw people who were not able to read their children's prescription bottles, help them with their homework, function in any way in our society, because we know that literacy is absolutely critical to be functional in our society.
Could you repeat that statistic? Was it 1? Sorry.
It's almost 20%, okay, which is almost 1 in 5. And I see my time is up. So I'm sorry, but just in conclusion, I just want to say that we are asking for $10,000. We're hoping to expand by 20 to 25% next year. We are partnering with Charting Careers, Boys and Girls Clubs, Homer Club at Stanton Center, and Asbury Community Clubhouse in Arnold to help us grow, to meet the kids where they are, because transportation is such a barrier for our children being picked up from the program at the end of their time. So.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. And we do have some document here that I think it's your presentation in Word or something. So thank you.
Great.
It's something attached here. It's called Remarks for City of Annapolis.
No, that's not the same. She's with STARE.
Yes.
Yeah. You're with STARE?
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
The library. I know, but we have just a 2-page document. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Is it attached?
Yeah, it's under, it's called Remarks for City of Annapolis, April 23rd. It's a Word document. It's below Compass Rose. It just presented. Don't you? You have it? Yeah.
Thank you, Joanne.
Granicus. No, it's in Granicus. It's after Compass Rose. Under ID 5824. Yeah, you got the list? Yeah. Okay.
Now we'll have Elizabeth Somerset with Fort Meade Alliance Foundation.
Okay, so let's get on the same page. That one I'm thrown by. Sorry. I had next the Imagination Library in our order of presentations.
No, we have.
Fort Meade Alliance Foundation?
These are not in order.
You have to use this one for that.
All right.
And then you have to use that one, and then you have to use that one, and then you have to use that one.
How many of these can you get me?
Fort Meade Alliance.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, and can somebody before me tell me where it is and what they're asking
They're
for?
on, under Services for Youth and Adults.
Okay. Okay, sorry, go. There we are, Fort Meade Alliance, and your grant request is $30,475? Yay,
Correct.
it works. I can multitask. Go ahead.
All right, well, I'm Tim O'Farrell. I'm the general manager of the Fort Meade Alliance, and I'm accompanied today by Elizabeth Somerset, our development director. Our address is 7467 Ridge Road, Hanover, Maryland, 21076. We're here today to talk about the Fort Meade Alliance Foundation, which funds the Fort Meade Alliance activities in relation to our education workforce efforts. Fort Meade is the #1 employer in the state of Maryland and the #1 employer in Anne Arundel County. Plus, it also is home to many of the military that retire out or separate from Fort Meade, as well as the Naval Academy right here in Annapolis and throughout the entire county. So it is a tremendous employer and a population percentage of the county. Our educational workforce efforts are really focused on sparking interest and excitement among our youth in careers that not are just in STEM fields, but in all fields related to jobs that support the Department of Defense missions that are at Fort Meade, which is home to the U.S. Cyber Command, NSA, and Defense Information Systems Agency, along with 117 other organizations. Today, 67,000 people go to work there every day in defense of our nation, and we need to build a really strong pipeline. So the Fort Meade Alliance activities, many of the programs that you see on the screen, are focused on creating exposure, awareness, and growth in careers related to the fields that support the missions at Fort Meade. And so we're here today to talk about our programs such as Techmania, Family STEM Nights, Project Scope, and our career panels, which reach between 1,700 to 2,500 students a year. Plus, this our inaugural pilot program for veterans and transitioning military, which we have 100 military personnel in the program, including spouses of the military, this Thursday. All of those programs are funded through our education workforce efforts. We find that we are able to create great impact as well as create a lot of excitement around very diverse careers. Fort Meade, being the state's largest economic engine, as well creates a lot of opportunity for young folks that they may not be aware of to really elevate themselves and get provide access to opportunities that they may not be aware of unless we're out there telling them, which we do in every high school in the county, as well as through programs that we try to reach even younger, K through 12 students, as well as working with Anne Arundel Community College pretty heavily on all of these efforts, including our latest effort in the apprenticeship. So we're here today to ask for funding to help us really continue to enable that outreach and extension into the community, the entire county. Get them excited about the STEM careers, get them excited about the economic opportunities that this engine provides to them.
Okay.
And I said we're efficient, so we beat the clock.
Thank you so much. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so next, if this system works, I have street. No, I know.
Can
I
have
had
my list back? So
Oh, no.
we can share it. Just put it in the middle.
Oh, there's mine. Okay, sorry.
Here it is. So it's street cred.
Yeah, so Street Cred Education Consultants, it's under education programs for children/youth, and their grant request is $5,000?
Yes.
Yes, it works.
Good morning. My name is Molly Mee, and my address is 33 South River Clubhouse Road, Harwood, Maryland, 20776. Again, my name is Molly Mee. I am a professor of education, an educational researcher, a teacher, and I'm now the executive director of a grassroots, innovative 501c3 organization founded here in Annapolis by the name of Street Cred Education Consultants. We are a team of formerly incarcerated individuals with histories of school dropout, crime, gang involvement, and incarceration. As part of that team, we also have teachers and educational researchers. The mission of our organization is that we combine the lived experiences of justice-impacted individuals with the expertise of K-12 teachers to inspire youth to make informed life choices, stay engaged in education, and achieve their personal goals. Too many of our Annapolis youth are on a trajectory to drop out of school, become involved with gangs, engage in criminal behaviors, and become incarcerated. Our goal is to stop that trajectory. But to do that, we need to keep our youth in school. To keep our youth in school, we need to help them make better decisions. So to that end, our organization is seeking funding to support work with at-risk youth at New Village Academy, the new charter school in Annapolis. We will implement a curriculum called Personal Decision Making. This course is designed to help students make informed and rational decisions that lead to safe choices and positive outcomes. We want these students to engage in this course being mentored by our team of people, including the formerly incarcerated, people who have been involved in crimes and gangs and made those poor decisions. Through this course, we're going to engage these students in a really deep exploration of the narratives of our consultants. And we want these kids to see that there's a better trajectory. We want them to make the right choices, and we want them to stay in school. So each week, they will engage in what we call it's part of the advisory at New Village Academy. They will engage in a course with these mentors. Already? Okay. So essentially, we're going to cut down on absences, suspensions, and referrals, and we want these kids to matriculate to 10th grade.
Street Cred Education Consultants, Inc., also known as Street Cred
Thank you so much. This is our team of men
charitable
in the middle.
501c3 organization.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what was the charter school you were?
It's New Village Academy. It's the one that's going to be at the Lord and Taylor.
Thank you.
At the mall. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly.
Okay. So next, we have Street Angel Project.
Yep,
and-
Shirley Gordon.
Yes, and it's under homelessness addiction programs, and I have here a grant request of $28,000. It is the Street Angel Project.
Hey, Shirley. How you doing? Aisha.
This list.
Good. How are you? Yes. You want to show your video first,
This is
or
the
what
list
you want to do
that
first?
Aisha gave to us.
This is the
As to
list of
present
the order of presentation.
All right.
I didn't get any others, so I'm assuming this is the one.
Good morning.
I already know.
Okay. All right. Street Angels, a homeless addiction program, $20,000 request. Okay. Go.
Is it 20 or 28?
I have 28,000.
Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. I wanted to give a little brief statement. Normally,
Name and address.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Shirley Gordon. I'm at 55 Clay Street, Annapolis, Maryland. My office is at the Stanton Center, 92 West Washington Street, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. Thank you. Maybe a couple of years ago, I do peer recovery services. I'm a certified addictions counselor. I'm a certified peer recovery specialist. And I stopped doing this. I stopped my federal job when I lost my daughter in 2018 to work my nonprofit full time. There is a epidemic in this city for addiction. 2 years ago, I was invited by the city to sit in on a meeting with a company called Sober Peer that would offer an app that would connect peer recovery specialists and peer recovery. And for some reason, the city didn't bite on that offer, but I thought it was a great concept. I thought it was something that would connect people with providers and things like that. So I'm developing our app. Because remember, Street Angels' tagline is working together, changing lives one community at a time. Go ahead, Aisha. Thank you.
Use disorders often thrive in a world where substance use disorders often thrive in isolation. Recovery Links is here to bridge the gap between individuals seeking recovery and the support they desperately need. Our app is not just another tool. It's a lifeline, a beacon of hope, and a community of warriors battling addiction together. Recovery Links is more than just an app. It's a comprehensive platform designed to empower individuals on their journey to sobriety. With a simple tap, users gain access to a network of peer recovery specialists, behavioral health agencies, and support groups, all within their fingertips. Imagine a world where seeking help is as easy as opening an app. With Recovery Links, users can connect with trained peer recovery specialists who understand the struggles firsthand and provide the support and guidance needed to navigate the challenges of recovery. But that's not all. Recovery Links goes beyond peer support by offering a comprehensive directory of behavioral health agencies and support groups tailored to each user's needs. Whether it's finding a local narcotics or Alcoholics Anonymous meeting or locating a nearby treatment center, Recovery Links ensures that no one has to face addiction alone. Our app is built on the principles of privacy, security, and inclusivity. We understand the importance of confidentiality in the recovery process, which is why Recovery Links prioritizes user privacy and data security at every step. But perhaps the most powerful aspect of Recovery Links is its community. Through our app, users can engage in anonymous group meetings, participate in community forums, and connect with others who share similar experiences. It's a space free from judgment, stigma, and shame, a space where individuals can find hope, healing, and support. So whether you're taking the first step on your journey to recovery or seeking additional support along the way, let Recovery Links be your guide. Together, we'll walk the path to sobriety, one step at a time.
And the one thing the app, this pitch does not mention is that the app is being developed with an AI called Nook. That was what my nickname for my daughter, Christian. Her nickname was Nook. Nook will be able to have, she will be implemented with cognitive behavioral therapy digitally.
Sorry to interrupt, but so this app is under the Street Angel Project?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, got it. Just want to make sure we weren't looking for another line item, but so.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
So the app is essentially the Street Angel Project? Or It's a part of the Street Angel Project.
It's something else we're implementing.
Okay, so there's more, okay.
Yes, we still provide peer recovery services, but this is just an added addition to something we're implementing in our program.
Okay, thanks for the clarification. Thank you.
Thank you all. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So there's no presentation?
Vicki, is Marcus still here?
Okay, that's good. That's
Marcus.
all we need to know.
Where did he go? Marcus.
Is Vince here?
Where did he go? Oh, because I don't see all the presentations here on his computer.
I didn't look up yet.
What was his name?
Can we go to the next one? Blacks of the Chesapeake?
I got Vince Leggett with Blacks of Chesapeake Foundation. I was just saying that I don't see the presentations in his laptop. You don't have it?
Do you want to ask?
Mr. Leggett, do you have a presentation?
Did you have a presentation? Did you send me a PowerPoint? No. Okay.
Okay.
He didn't send me a PowerPoint.
It's under category 4, and it's, and I have here,
I could have sworn you sent me something. Okay.
I have here a grant request of 38,000. Does that
Yes, an
align with
operating
yours?
grant for
Thank you.
38,000.
Thanks.
Let me just say good morning. My name is Vince Leggett, founder and president of the Black City Chesapeake, and our corporate address is 1125 West Street, Annapolis. Also, I have Dolores Strum, Dee Dee Strum, with me, the Chief Administrative Officer for Black City Chesapeake. And again, thank you for this opportunity to come and present to you an overview of the proposed project. As you all have been following along, the City of Annapolis, Black City Chesapeake, and our other partners over the last couple of years have worked collaboratively securing the Elktonia project. Recently, we secured the Paulette Moore Senior College adjacent to Elktonia. And this particular grant would really support the work of the Black City Chesapeake, working in conjunction with the city, who owns the deeds to both properties. But the whole idea is to help inform the visitor center as well as the Black City Chesapeake's historical, cultural, and environmental center. One thing that we like to emphasize is that this particular park is for all people, but because of the historical nature of the park, we will be elevating the stories and contributions of African Americans, the Carrs, the Sparrows, the Adams, and other families that occupied that space since the 1920s. Again, Ms. Dee Dee Strum, our administrative officer, has been very careful to make sure our requests align with the 4 or 5 bullet points that this committee says are their priorities. Ms. Dee Dee, just want to hit those bullet points, and then we'll just see if there's a question or two from the panel.
Certainly. Good morning, all. Yes, I'm Dee Dee Strum, and one of the things that we felt particularly, excuse me, one of the things that we were particularly proud of with regard to advancing this application for funding is in looking at the priorities that are established for your grant making, which is providing services that sustain and empower youth, families, and individuals towards improved quality of life, providing programs that preserve and enhance a community's character, providing programs that contribute to a vibrant economy, and providing and promoting programs that are integral to revitalization, economic development, and environmental sustainability. Vince quickly made reference to the vision for an environmental, educational, cultural, historical opportunities center as part of focus as part of the visitor center at the new Heritage Park. And all 4 of those priorities can be accomplished with our plan for informing the educational agenda. We see the property as becoming a place for an outdoor classroom where we can teach the next generation of environmental champions about things like eDNA, water and soil testing, and everything that has traversed through the Chesapeake Bay over time, present to them opportunities for jobs in the maritime trades. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we have Paula Hendry with Annapolis Area Imagination Library.
Okay, hold on.
Good morning. Can I give you each a handout?
Yes, yeah.
Morning.
Do you have it? Did you find it? Should be with Stair.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, that is under education programs for children/youth. And I have here a grant request of 15,000. Does that
Yes.
align with you?
That's correct.
Okay, great.
So let me just really quickly go through these slides. And what is it that we do in slide 2?
I'm sorry, wait.
Sorry, I was trying to find a present more.
You have to be on the mic.
Oh,
Can you get on the mic,
sorry.
please?
Okay, this is good,
Your
I guess.
name and address, too.
Okay, I am Paula Borinsky Hendry, and I live at 17 Sheridan Road, Arnold, Maryland. And a lot of what we do takes place in the city of Annapolis, more than what we're asking for. So what we do is we send free books to children under 5, from birth to age 5, very attractive, colorful, educational sound books. Next slide. We're an affiliate of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. They choose the books with experts. They mail them. Because they mail almost $3 million a month, the cost is really low, $2.20 per book, including the mailing. Locally, we register children, so we do our best to find the neediest children, and we raise money in order to pay for the books. Next. So our reach, May of last year, we mailed books to 667 children in Annapolis. In May of this year, we're going to be mailing books to 1,100 children in the city of Annapolis. So that's a big increase. And then if the cost is $26 per year. So if you, with 1,100 children, that's about $28,000. But honestly, I think because we go by zip code, some of those children don't live in the city of Annapolis. So I can count through those 1,100 children if you like. I don't think it's really worth the time. But I would say 900 of those children live in the city limits of Annapolis or more. So if you look at 900 children, that's still about 24,000, and we're only asking for 15,000. So we're going to find the rest of the funds to support these children somewhere else. So our focus is low-income families. That's where we do our outreach, and we try to register children and families that we meet at food pantries and diaper banks, and we went to all the community, support centers that were held last year at the different places around town, and we go to schools, targeted schools, to reach people, because the point is to reach people that may not have books at home. Actually, it turns out that probably 60% of low-income individuals low-income children don't have any books at home. So we know the key thing is early literacy skills and readiness for kindergarten. That's what we're targeting. So we know reading doesn't start when you hit pre-K or kindergarten. It really starts from birth with experiences with language. And when parents read to their kids, you get these advantages, and I'll focus on 2 from here. Print motivation is the desire to learn how to read. Books have great stories. I can learn about great animals. Vocabulary, if you think about the vocabulary in a household where there's no reading, it's like pick up your toys, let's go eat. But when you bring in reading, you greatly expand kids' background knowledge and vocabulary. And kids that are read to have a longer attention span, have a greater memory, have more imagination, have more curiosity. So it's really, really critical. So back a slide. Okay, back another slide. So kindergarten readiness, you're probably very aware of this, is something, it's like a snapshot of kids' development in the first 2 months of kindergarten. And one of the key things for school success is the literacy aspect of that. Next slide. So how are our kids doing on this? It's discouraging. So in the state and the county, it's about 42, 43%. But then when you get into groups that tend to be low income or have language challenges, it goes as low as 25%. So that's saying that 75% of the kids that are arriving in kindergarten are really not prepared to succeed.
We're at time.
And what?
We're at time.
We're at time.
Just concluding remarks.
I'm sorry?
If you could concluding remarks.
Okay, I'll conclude. So this is the thing, go back one. This is the thing. So putting books in kids' hands, is that really the most effective thing? And the research says, one research study with 70,000 kids in 27 countries said the key to children's success in literacy is having access to quality literacy materials. That kids who have 20 books in the home will get 3 more years of education than kids with no books in the home. That kids with books in their home are more likely to be successful in school than even children that have parents with a university education. So it's very effective. And when people have books in the home, they tend to start reading to their kids. And the longer they participate in the program, the more they read to their kids.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is hard to be the traffic cop here, because these are all very passionate and very emotional to you. And I really don't want to dismiss that.
That's fine.
No problem. So next, we have Luminous Health.
Yep, Maureen O'Neill.
Okay, and so for my colleagues, I have that in
Hello.
I have that.
It's
And your name
under
and
It's under
homeless.
homelessness addiction program, and I have here a grant request of $44,300, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Maureen O'Neill. I'm the grants officer for Anne Arundel Medical Center, and I'm here today with my colleagues Marianne and Michelle from Pathways. And our project that we were talking about today is the Pathways Vehicle Project. Next slide. So just
Name and
some,
address.
Oh, sorry, address 2620 Riva Road, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. So some quick background. AMC was founded in 1902 in the city of Annapolis. We used to be located at the corner of Franklin and Cathedral Streets. We provide a lot of healthcare services for behavioral health in particular. We have Pathways, which is a nonprofit treatment center for people with substance use disorders, which has been open since 1992 and is a trusted community resource. Over the last 12 months, we have seen 995 individuals for the treatment of substance use, with 7,717 inpatient treatment nights and 10,281 outpatient visits. And over 70% of these patient visits are residents of the city of Annapolis or Anne Arundel County, and they enter treatment with a goal of recovery and self-sufficiency. So really quickly, we respectfully request $44,300 to support the purchase of a new Pathways vehicle. And in-kind support will be the treatment assistant who drives the vehicle, as well as any gasoline and maintenance costs.
Hi, my name is Michelle Bluchinsky. I'm the inpatient clinical manager at Pathways, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do with the vehicle that we have. So it's been instrumental since we received our first vehicle. We're actually given the opportunity to take patients to and from recovery housing. A lot of them are here in Annapolis, but we also go to outside resources as well. We're also able to pick up their prescriptions on the way, and a lot of the recovery houses require people to go to the laundromat first. So basically, we're able to ensure that the patient gets to where they need to go because we have the vehicle to do so. Also, we're able to get people to and from their court dates or probation check-ins, custody hearings. We haven't been able to do that before we had a vehicle. We would have to rely on postponements or things like that, but now we're actually able to do, meet the patient's needs. Also, we're able to take them to AAMC for any medical clearance that they need, wound care. Also, if someone's PPD comes back positive, we can take them for chest x-rays. But another big one is we are able to provide them dental care. A lot of the patients that come to us, we always say we should really have a full-time dentist on staff because of all the dental care needs that we have. So we're able to take them to their dental care appointments as well. Really, we've been able to provide this well-rounded care because we had a vehicle. The vehicle we have is kind of, we're needing a new one, so we're hoping that you guys will consider us for the grant so that we can keep providing the well-rounded care that we have been able to. Thank you so much.
Whoa.
Oh, perfect. Do you have any questions? I'm sorry.
They're going to
send
have a Google
Oh, okay.
document and get questions on it.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Caitlin, can you set that up on the Google Drive?
Thank you.
And just call it something that we can find.
We have Nicole Dolan with Walk the Walk Foundation
Is
next.
that what you mean?
For questions, yeah, like
Yeah.
community grants questions, big one. Okay, so Walk the Walk, we have under services for youth and adults. And I have here a grant request of $50,000.
Did you?
Is that correct?
Okay.
Is your grant request for $50,000?
Just shy of that, yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Will this one not work?
take note of that, okay.
Never mind, it's perfect, thank you.
Services for youth, yeah.
So name and your address.
Yeah, perfect. Good morning, my name is Nicole Dolan, and my address is 1117 Mainsail Drive, Annapolis.
Oh, could you repeat the address again?
1117 Mainsail Drive.
Mainsail.
MAINSAIL Drive.
Mainsail.
Go ahead. Awesome. Thank you so much. If you could move to the next slide, please. So as I've already stated, my name is Nicole Dolan, and I have the pleasure and honor of serving as the Executive Director of Walk the Walk Foundation. Our mission is to serve the needs of children within Anne Arundel County, and we do that through empowering individuals to serve with their time, talent, and treasures. And so we have 3 distinct programs through which we serve the community, and today the funding we're asking for is to support our Diapers for Babies program. Next slide, please. Walk the Walk serves as the only partner of the National Diaper Bank Network in Anne Arundel County, and that partnership allows us to have access to best practices for our diaper distribution as well as bulk discount buying power. In 2024, Walk the Walk Foundation provided 250,000 diapers within the Anne Arundel County area. Why diapers? Why are diapers such a critical need? And what is really standing? What are the challenges behind what we see in terms of half of families are reporting that they don't have enough diapers for their children? And so with that, though, there becomes health implications. Families are reducing other expenses in their homes, sometimes missing meals to provide diapers for their children. And there are no government programs that provide for diapers. So WIC, SNAP, none of those programs cover diapers for families. So they either need a resource to get diapers or to have cash in hand. And I think, one more. Most importantly, I'd like to share that diapers play a critical role in ending the cycle of poverty, because in order to take your child to childcare so you can go to work, you have to have a day's worth of diapers. And so parents are missing work and can't provide for their families and get diapers because of diapers. So the way that Walk the Walk operates is we partner with 16 organizations throughout the county. We distribute our diapers to them, and they're the boots on the ground. So we are the buying power and kind of the logistics behind the operation. And so what we do is we use our buying power with the National Diaper Bank Network to purchase diapers at 18 cents a diaper, which is a steal, in combination with community diaper drives. And those diaper drives help us to collect diapers, but also really to raise awareness, which we find is important. And volunteers are really a huge part of our program and our community. So this grant will be able to provide diapers for 800 children per month for an entire year, as well as wipes, baby wipes to go with those diapers. And so we anticipate the impact being that, these babies will be clean, dry, and healthy, reducing the financial strain on families and the stress, and collaborating. And there we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Cheryl Mendez with Restoration Community Development. Guess they're not here. What about Carol Benson from Chesapeake Crossroads Heritage Area? Yep. No. Good morning, hey too. Did you send me a presentation?
Yeah, there's one slide.
Yep, I got it.
Just looks like that.
Telling me. Okay, so we have Chesapeake Crossroads Heritage, formerly known as Annapolis London Town. They're under Category 4, and their grant request is for $28,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and just your name, address, and you can start.
My name's Carol Benson. I'm the Executive Director of the Chesapeake Crossroads Heritage Area. My address is 44 Calvert Street, Annapolis, and with me is...
Hi, I'm Tim Leahy. I serve as the chair of the board for Chesapeake Crossroads, and my address is 110 Archwood Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland.
Good morning, City Council members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'd like to thank you for your past support of the Heritage area through the Community Grants Program, and we have requested that support again this year. The Chesapeake Crossroads Heritage Area is one of Maryland's 13 certified heritage areas in a statewide program called the Maryland Heritage Areas Program, or MHAA. We define heritage as historical, cultural, and natural resources. 3 years ago, we expanded our certified boundaries, stretching farther than across the county, resulting in a doubling of our footprint and the doubling of the number of stakeholders to be served. And 2 years ago, we rebranded from our earlier name, Four Rivers. A primary function of the MHAA program is to provide funding to both capital and non-capital projects located within heritage boundaries, and the city continues to benefit substantially from this funding. Our heritage area has a strong track record in securing grants for both projects to both city-based and county-based organizations. But the city-based organizations have received much more than double the number of grants than those outside the city, totaling $5.6 million to the county's $1.8 million over our 22 years of state grants. The Annapolis City Council was a part of the certification process that created our organization from the very beginning, and the city's support is crucial to our operations. Our funding request to the city is part of the dollar-for-dollar match that we're required to raise in order to receive an annual allocation of $100,000 from the Maryland Heritage Areas Program for operating and program costs for our modest budget and small staff, and every dollar is needed. We depend on your support to keep the program going. Chesapeake Crossroads Heritage Area is the only entity through which heritage-related nonprofit organizations and municipalities here are eligible for the matching Maryland Heritage Area grants. Since certification in 2001, our heritage area has brought more than $7.4 million in matched program and project grants, leveraging $25.4 million of total project support. The Heritage Areas Program operates by leveraging every dollar and by strategically focusing funding only to designated areas. Our heritage partners depend on this funding for critical upkeep to their brick and mortar buildings, for capital improvements, for new or refurbished exhibits, for heritage-related events, and other projects that bring the heritage tourists here each year. In the last 5 years alone, 20 MHAA grants and 31 mini grants have supported heritage tourism projects in the city. We also create collaborative programs, such as the Maryland Day Celebration that marked its 17th year last month, and we offer impactful workshops, networking, and collaborative opportunities, and technical support as we work with our stakeholders. Because of this long track record, we ask you to treat us as partners. And I just wanted to ask Tim to say a word.
In summary, just in the last 5 years, almost $1 million has come to city organizations, city nonprofits, as a result of this program. And it enables our partners to unlock state funds that flow into our area. And the other point is that the city's grant ensures that we get our block grant, which is huge leverage for us in the money. So money well spent.
We have a clarification question.
Yeah, what's the required match for you to get the state funding?
There's no longer a cash 75%. We just have to make the full $100,000 in cash or in kind.
To get $100,000 from the state, you have to match it 100%, and it can be cash or in kind. And do you have the level of in-kind that you need?
We would have it if we received the full $28,000, we would have it easily. But this past year, we were cut by $7,000 by the city. And so we undertook to bring the Maryland Day program in-house. The Maryland Day program has 41 partners at 50 locations, and it brings an enormous amount of in-kind. So that's what we did for this year as a stopgap measure.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry about that. No, that's what I'm talking about.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tim, good seeing you again. Tim. Okay, so I have next.
We have Reginald Brody with Annapolis and Anne Arundel County Scholarship Trust.
Okay, so that is under, obviously it should
How
be
are you
under
doing?
education.
So I got what you sent me this morning. Is this what you wanted to, the email? Okay.
But you can show that if you have the clips of the,
Your pictures?
Yeah.
So you just want to read while I show your pictures?
Yeah.
Okay.
they're pretty familiar with us.
Okay. I'm sorry?
I'll just like go through your pictures
Okay.
as you talk.
Thank you. It's,
Your name and address.
Good morning. My name is Reginald Brody. I'm the co-founder of the Annapolis and Anne Arundel County Scholarship Trust.
okay.
I would like to.
Your grant request is for 35,000? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I gotcha. Under education programs. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
My address is currently we're at 215 Crow Drive, which is, and that's our headquarters. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of the trust. And last time we spoke, I talked specifically about mindset and change within the community, and I feel really feel very good that we've been able to do some of those things. We're asking for funding to fund what we passionately call the Trust Center, and the trust is a major part of our focus within the center in regards to the mindset that I talked about. In the interest of time, I want to basically go over some of our outcomes, rather than talk more about the programs, which a lot of us we are familiar with. 73% reduction in behavioral issues as students in guidance, mentorship, and how we appropriately deal with our young people. 71% decline in neighborhood violence, which we're very, very, very excited about. 83% increase in being able being kind while having meaningful and positive one-on-one relationships. Why we focused on that? Because our young people, as we know, they wasn't very, very kind to each other when we first started there. So we focused on that to have them change their mindset in regards to their fellow friends and community. Third, 93% of the students enrolled in the Trust Center programs develop new passions by discovering career opportunities, pathways that can help them get excited about the future. We focused on that specifically because, again, our young people, it's about the mindset. They didn't believe much of anything that was possible. The last time we spoke, we talked about sending a young person to Scotland, which we've been doing for 20 years. I'm excited to announce that that is in place. The young person have their passport and all the papers and things that they need to travel, which is, we may think it's not a big deal, but when that young person got that passport, it made all the difference in the world. She began to talk to her friends about what that passport is and how excited she's going to have to go to Gordonston International School. For those of you who are not familiar with Gordonston is one of the most prestigious academic schools in Scotland and actually in Europe. A lot of prestigious young people go there. And we're sending kids from low-income communities where they will fellowship with kids from all over the world.
Time to conclude.
You can
just wrap it up.
Conclude.
Well, yeah, but they fellowship with kids all over the world. This will give our young people a fighting chance to be successful. And we talk passionately about changing mindsets, we're not only talking about changing mindsets of our young people, we were talking about changing mindsets of their parents. If you can imagine the impact of this adventure that this young person is going on with this family within Annapolis Gardens, it's not only has resonated within her family, but has resonated in the community where our young people are asking how can they go next year. I want to thank you so much. We appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you
Reggie.
very much. Okay. So I said 11:15 break, so we'll do one more. Okay, does that work?
Restoration Community Development.
You're good. Good, thank you.
Are you saying, I don't understand, what? Oh, the one we skipped over. Yeah, okay, Cheryl Menendez, we're gonna do Cheryl.
Cheryl?
Yeah. And you don't have a presentation?
with Restoration Community Development. I don't have a presentation. Let me double check. You didn't send me a presentation, did you, Sharon? No,
Did
yeah.
anyone find
No presentation.
restoration?
Oh, she has folders.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
And then just your name and your address.
Cheryl Menendez.
And name and address.
I'm sorry?
Name and address.
My address for the my personal address. I don't even remember right now. I'm so nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Let me breathe.
She's a little nervous.
Just this morning.
Oh, take your time. I know this is emotional and
it is.
you're going to be as empathetic as possible.
It's only 3 minutes.
Okay. 9 3rd Avenue Southwest.
Okay.
In Glen Burnie, Maryland. I did pass out, please forgive me, we have some emergencies this morning down in Glen Burnie. What I want to share today is about our actual program. What I've provided for you, I think a picture sometimes is better than 1,000 words. So those are the actual pictures that we have.
This is hers? Okay. Okay, thank you.
For our H2O Adolescent Clubhouse, what has actually happened is that it has been identified that in the Annapolis area and in the Brooklyn Park area, we have the highest amount of students ages 12 to 17 with mental health and co-occurring disorders of substance use. What I provided for you are actual pictures of what we're actually doing down in Robinwood. We've worked in the city for approximately 28, 29 years. The actual problem is what we're seeing now is that there are students who are not achieving in school, especially I'm seeing a lot of challenges or opportunities for growth with our African-American males as well. The problems completing school, and what we're finding out, children who fall behind in their learning have trouble learning by the end of the school year and regaining what they should have had during the beginning of the school year. And this is an increase in children and youth in mental health, the aspect of adolescence since COVID-19. There are trends and an increase in violence as well. With Restoration Community Development, we provide evidence-based programs, and we have so for many years, one of which is Strengthening Families. And the Strengthening Families program provides skills for training to be effective in reducing multiple risk factors for our students. We also use a program that's called Arise. Arise is for adolescents, but it provides skills and is designed specifically for those who have no formal experiences. We also are certified for the state of Maryland for ACEs, Adverse Childhood Experiences. Breathe, Cheryl. Okay. And what we're doing is also working with workforce development, financial management, resume writing, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Students, music and arts. We built the first and the only it's not even for adolescents, it's for everyone, which is a music studio, which we have developed down in the Robinwood community. What you have are pictures, and you can actually see all the things that we have and that we're doing there, as a matter of fact. The H2O Adolescent Clubhouse is held in the community, which is at 1469 Tyler Avenue. Some of the other things that are being done is to provide services that sustain and empower youth, families, and individuals. As you all may know, is that there are real challenges that are in our housing developments. And so we have the ability also to provide an actual Anne Arundel County and Maryland food bank. And so we provide food for them every other Thursday, and it's not just for Robinwood, but we go to Harbor House, Madison Street, and provide actual groceries for persons and families that are there.
Okay, could you conclude your concluding remarks now?
Okay.
Thanks.
So what we're doing is just trying to find out how we can provide other services for the children because we're trying to develop a whole new level of hope down there in the Robin Wood community.
May I ask clarification? Because I think it's listed under H2O for Life. Is that your other
Yes,
name?
that's the H2O for Life.
Okay, and, yeah, we couldn't find you doing another name here. And your grant request is for $30,650? Does that align with your?
Well, actually, yes.
Okay.
But we're looking for, we need an actual director for the music studio.
Okay.
And so that's one of the pieces that we're trying to provide.
So what is your official name of the nonprofit? Is it
It's Restoration Community Development Corporation.
What is Annapolis H2O for Life then?
That's part of the organization.
Okay.
That's one facet of the organization.
Okay, that's what the application, that's the applicant name in this case. Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Thank
Okay, we're going to take a break till 11:30. I'm sorry for inconveniencing anyone. We just, trust me, let us take a break. And what do I need to do? Recess? Okay. We are going to recess until 11:30. Thank you. Thank you. We are reconvening, and we're going to continue where we left off, and that would mean we have Tennis Alliance next.
So Louise Thomas.
Yes, and for my colleagues, that is under Education Programs for Children / Youth, and I have here a grant request for $5,000. Does that align with your notes? You have a grant request for $5,000? Is that what you requested? Okay, great. Thank you.
If you can get this afterwards.
Yeah, that's, yeah, it's here.
So I give
I know, let me find.
name and address.
Yeah.
When they're ready.
Okay, and name and address. Thank you.
My name is Louise Thomas, and I'm president of the Tennis Alliance of Anne Arundel County. Our organizational address is in Annapolis. My personal address is 1305 Anglesey Drive, Davidsonville, Maryland.
Who you are?
I'm Jennifer McGowan. I'm Director of Programs, and our business address is P.O. Box 6297, Annapolis.
But your personal address.
My personal address is 139 Spa View Avenue in Annapolis.
Thank you. If I can share for a moment who we are and what we do. Our mission is to expand play opportunities and use the sport of tennis to benefit health, wellness, and life. We provide the affordable, accessible, healthy activity. We work with under-resourced communities such as HACA, Marshall Hope, Special Olympics. Our tennis classes include an educational component. We give handouts and talk about the importance of healthy eating and an active lifestyle. We reinforce values learned through sport, such as resiliency and sportsmanship. Our grant program we're requesting takes place at Truxton Park with 32 classes that are open to everybody. They're offered for free. Our instructors are certified professionals with certifications with the USPTA, the US PTR. We're very good at what we deliver. Why tennis? Nationally, more than 70% of all tennis is played on public facilities. Recreational tennis is free. All you need is a racket and ball, and all our programs give free rackets, free balls, so they have the sport for life once they've learned to play it. Tennis is growing. The two fastest growing groups in tennis, growing at over 50% just this last year, was the Hispanic Latino players and the Black African players. The sport is growing more and more diverse. Finally, a fun fact, if you play tennis, you live 10 years longer than everybody else. I'll let Jennifer tell more about the program.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. And first, I'd like to invite all of y'all to come watch or participate in our weekend clinics. We're every Saturday and Sunday, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at Truxton Park. So we will be there. It's a walk-on program, so there's no need to pre-register, and all are welcome. We believe that walk-on encourages more participation from the local community. We have children's courts, we have teen courts, and we have beginner adult courts. So my favorite parts of our program is I love seeing the families and parents relax and enjoy watching their kids playing in a fun, organized program. Seeing the parents pick up a racket themselves and participating. Seeing families stay after and enjoy those wonderful courts at Truxton. And also, I love seeing the high school kids that come and volunteer because they get their service hours. And many of them stay after they got their hours because they just really have a good time. Annapolis, Truxton is a hidden gem, and we just really love encouraging more people in the area to use these wonderful facilities.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you.
You're
Right.
welcome.
I have next.
I know. That's not enough.
Writing.
You're
It's great
welcome.
meeting you.
You too. We'll talk soon.
Therapeutic writing, they should be under,
Yeah, Maryland Therapeutic Writing with Lisa Zering. Sorry, I destroyed it.
so, I have here, for my colleagues, it's under Services for Youth and Adults. And I have here a grant request of $27,000. Is that correct with your note?
I'm sorry?
Your grant request is for $27,000?
That is
Okay.
correct.
So say your name and address and.
It's Lisa Zaring, and I'm with Maryland Therapeutic Writing, which is located at 1141 Sunrise Beach Road in Crownsville.
I don't think they put the video in this one. They didn't send the video over to this, so I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we can't show it?
I don't have it.
And we're just going to follow along your slides here because I don't think we have them uploaded, in order yet, so.
Okay. Yeah, we're
Colleagues.
having trouble.
So they're up. You can start when you're ready.
Okay. My name, again, is Lisa Zaring. I'm the Donor Engagement Manager at Maryland Therapeutic Writing, where we've been serving the community with equine assisted services since 1996. Our mission is to improve the quality of life of children, adults, active military, and veterans with special needs by connecting humans and horses in a healing environment. Next slide is what started with one horse and one participant has now grown to us serving more than 400 participants a year with over 4,500 hours of programming. Our primary programs include adaptive riding and horsemanship, physical speech and occupational therapy, and equine-assisted psychotherapy, with other special programming also happening throughout the year, both with individuals and groups, children and adults. In fact, one of the groups that we work with is Luminous Health Pathways, is a regular attendee of our services, as well as Anne Arundel County Police Department Youth Program. None of this would be possible without a knowledgeable and talented staff and a group of committed volunteers. Our program manager is a pivotal position to ensure that we are able to match the needs of the community with the equine assisted services that we do offer at Maryland Therapeutic Riding. Maryland Therapeutic Riding was fortunate to have received funding from fiscal year 2024 City of Annapolis Community Grant to implement the horse-powered reading program at Maryland Therapeutic Riding. We rolled this program out in summer of 2023, and I think this is the previous slide. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah, sorry. All of the, so the summer horsepower reading program was rolled out as a literacy camp to provide differential learning opportunities to increase the reading capacity of our special needs participants and those within the community. And it has continued to be incorporated in using the learning solutions throughout our farm property with learning stations that we've incorporated into our everyday programming. For fiscal year 25, our project is to supplement the salary of our program manager, Lindsay Arar. Lindsay is, some of her services or qualifications are listed on the slide, but what's not up there and maybe not as tangible is the heart that Lindsay brings to her role and to the participants. Program manager job responsibilities are varied. They include creating and developing program plans and materials, scheduling, training, herd management, education, mentoring, as well as administration and marketing and community initiatives. This broad oversight allows Lindsay the opportunity to identify, create, and manage programming that will continually meet the needs of our community in areas that can be addressed and served by equine-assisted programming. As the costs of running and sustaining a working farm operation have continued to rise at an accelerated pace, it's important for us to be able to maintain the skill set and level of staff commitment that comes with the right person in the right role. Lindsay Arar is a priceless asset.
I'm sorry.
Just concluding, yeah, if you could.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, Lindsay Arar is a priceless asset to MTR and our participants. The grant would allow us to ensure the ability to keep this important individual as part of the MTR family.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
No, it's not enough time, but thank you.
Can I just
All right, we'll
confirm when
talk
we're
soon.
ending today?
All right, next we have Maryland Latinos Unidos.
Sorry.
If Gabriel Loomis.
Wait, we'll talk after.
You guys didn't send me a presentation, did you?
Regardless of.
I'm just going to speak.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That's not a problem.
So we have
Just say your name and address.
We have a drafted time of 1:30 today, is that?
Hello, I am Dr. Gabriela Lemus. I am the Executive Director of Maryland Latinos Unidos. Our headquarters is in Baltimore City at 1500 Union Avenue, Suite 2500, Baltimore, Maryland, 21211. Yuliani Macy, here to my right, is our community health organizer based here in Annapolis. Do I need to provide her address as well?
Her address? Yeah.
No?
No.
Okay.
Yes, no? No, okay.
Thank you.
And just for my colleagues, this is an organization under Category 2, and your grant request is for $75,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning, esteemed members of the City Council. I am Dr. Gabriela Lemus, and I am honored to represent Maryland Latinos Unidos, a program of Maryland Nonprofits Association. We are a dynamic organization committed to championing health equity within Maryland's vibrant Latino community. Established amidst the trials of the COVID-19 pandemic, our organization has tirelessly addressed health disparities across the state with a focus on 5 regions: Annapolis, Anne Arundel, Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Montgomery County, and Prince George's County. These areas encompass approximately 70% of our community, making them pivotal to our mission. Our journey in Annapolis began during the throes of the pandemic, where we collaborated closely with the city to raise awareness, disseminate crucial information, and deliver essential resources, including vaccination, to our Latinx and immigrant neighbors. This collective effort birthed the Mid-Atlantic Latinx Vaccine Equity Coalition, MALVIC, a collaborative endeavor uniting local government, esteemed institutions such as Johns Hopkins University, George Washington University's Milken Institute, alongside Latinx-serving nonprofits here in the area like CASA and Center of Help, as well as local small businesses and the health department. Since then, our scope of work has expanded significantly, encompassing maternal and reproductive health initiatives, health literacy campaigns, and targeted community health worker training programs aimed at bolstering the cadre of bilingual healthcare professionals available to support our community throughout. Our maternal health project in particular is poised to make a transformative impact by addressing critical gaps in the maternal healthcare continuum. Despite the growing needs of our community, there exists a stark disparity between the availability of bilingual support and the increasing demands such services require here in Annapolis. Alarmingly, again here in Annapolis, Latinas often forego seeking prenatal care due to resource limitations or inadequate access to information. Data from 2016 to 2020 underscores the urgency of our cause, revealing preterm birth and low birth weight as primary contributors to infant mortality within our community, followed closely by congenital defects. Hispanic women are 2 to 3 times more likely to receive inadequate prenatal care compared to their non-Hispanic white counterparts, resulting in disproportionately higher rates of preterm birth among Hispanic infants. It is imperative that we bridge this gap, and trained bilingual community health workers are pivotal agents of change in this regard. Through our maternal health project, we aim to serve 150 to 200 women here in Annapolis, as well as about 25 community health workers in training, empowering them with vital knowledge about the significance of prenatal care and equipping them with support of trained bilingual community health workers. This initiative embodies our unwavering commitment to fostering a healthier, more equitable future for the Latinx community in Annapolis. In closing, I extend my deepest gratitude for your attention to this pressing matter and invite your support in our collective endeavor to advance health equity for all. I thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gabrielle.
A little bit of housekeeping, just doing my math here. We're running about 3 presentations behind, so if we want to drop dead of 1:30, I just want to make sure that there's 3 organizations here that won't be able to present today. Maryland Hall, SOFO Annapolis, and Newtown CDC. If they're here, they're not going to have time to present today. I just want to make sure they're not in the audience. Anyone here from CDC, Newtown CDC, Maryland Hall, or SOFO Annapolis? No, anyone.
Good? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, anyone after, after the food bank.
Okay, you just mentioned.
Need your paper?
Well.
We already told the other ones.
We already
paper?
told the other ones, yeah. And then we're running like 3 behind, so.
When we told them that this morning?
Mm-hmm.
You want to send it?
I'll send it.
You know the math I did, right? Or 3 up and then, okay. All right, so next we have Serenity Sisters.
Angel Trainer.
Angel Trainer, and for my colleagues, they are under homelessness addiction programs, and their grant request is for $47,000. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Name and address.
So just tell them what to mean.
Good morning. My name is Angel Trainer. I am the Executive Director of Serenity Sisters here in Annapolis. My address is 266 Hillsmere Drive, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Okay.
Thank you for having me. I do not have a presentation because the presentation is in front of you. It is a folder with a lot of information, and I'm happy to talk about some of it quickly.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm an Annapolitan. I've been here my whole life. I've done a ton of work at the county level, and about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I thought to myself, what am I doing? Why am I not in this city that, quite honestly, I in parts of it, I helped to destroy in a very colorful past life? I was looking at some stats this morning, and 2024, we're doing pretty good, right? We're doing pretty good with our stats for heroin and fentanyl or other overdoses. Heroin, fentanyl most prevalent. We're still high in the 25 to 34-year-old range of overdoses. Honestly, that's the population that I work with the most in our recovery houses. But this is about the George Phillips Jr. Recovery Community Center. This project has been going on for about 6 years. We finally found a location. It is in Ward 3. We've been very blessed with grants from the state for acquisition, renovations. One of the pages that you will see in front of you, some of the information is outdated because in one of the paragraphs, we're proud to offer, wrong one. To date, we have been awarded $700,000 in state, county, and foundation grants, and we needed another $200,000 to really complete the project and bring it across the board. We were granted an LBI about 10 days ago to take care of that. So this grant is for operational cost for the center once we open it up. The George Phillips Jr. Recovery Community Center is an environment of no stigma, a safe space for those in early or advanced recovery, located in Annapolis, and the services that we're going to provide will sustain and empower youth, families, and individuals so that they can move towards an improved quality of life and self-sufficiency. The services that we're going to offer are job trainings, resume building, expungement clinics, and wellness activities. We have a goal of serving 1,300 persons per year. And we are not just Ward 3. We are the city of Annapolis. We are open to all individuals seeking that help in the city. Entering the life of recovery for somebody who has been on the other side of addiction, coming into recovery, it's exciting, but it's scary. Because sometimes, and I say we because I'm a person in long-term recovery, we don't know how to operate in the world. And if we don't have some help navigating, then often it is my experience that if individuals don't have help navigating the system and the things that they want, there will be a return to use. And those are the things that we're trying to stop. So I heard the buzzer. Everything that you need to know is in this folder. Phone numbers. I've also gifted each one of you with the purple bag. We decided to make Narcan look sexy, if you will. Nobody wanted it in the box, so we're like, oh, purple bag. Most important thing besides the Narcan is this. It is full of resources for Anne Arundel County and Annapolis. We've distributed over 20,000 in the past 3 years of these in the community. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Rhonda, thank you for Pastor Cheryl. Sheila, thank you.
Thank you, Angel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, an update on Cheryl.
All right, we have Assistance League of the Chesapeake, Inc., Kim Taft.
Okay. Assistant League of the Chesapeake.
Hello, Kim.
Okay.
And just your name and address, just right now.
Under Services for Youth and Adults, it's, the title is Assistant League. Yes, I have a grant request of $13,000?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my name is Kim Taft. My home address is 1936 Carrollton Road, Annapolis.
You can start. Yeah.
Great, thanks. Assistance League is an organization in the county. We have 91 all-volunteer members. There is no paid salary or staff. We transform the lives of children and adults, seniors in our community. If you can go to slide 2, please. These are some of the areas we reach out to the community. Last year, or I'm sorry, this school year, we distributed over 3,200 new school uniforms to students attending 7 Title I schools. We distribute new books to 3 elementary schools and work with literacy projects in Georgetown East Elementary. We reach out to seniors in assisted living facilities with sing-alongs. Go to slide 3, please. What many people don't realize is that there are public schools in Anne Arundel County that require school uniforms. Their PTAs, they've decided to do this. Of the 94 elementary and middle schools in the county, 17 require uniforms. We assist with 7 of these schools in providing brand new school uniforms. The impact of a uniform shows an increase in school attendance, reduces discipline issues, and improves students' confidence. Twice a year in September and January, we go into schools, we measure the children for their uniforms, and we provide polo shirts, khaki pants, a skirt, sweatshirt, socks, and underwear to these students. We order high-quality clothing, and the quantity that we purchase allows us to get them at a great price. Roughly $25 right now is what we're paying per uniform. When you think of the savings that is for a family, it really reduces a financial burden, especially if they're purchasing for more than one child. We have warehouse space at the Anne Arundel Public Schools warehouse in Millersville. So they share we partner with them, and then they deliver the uniforms to the schools. And if you could go to the next one, thanks. So for this year, we received a $2,800 grant where we provided 112 new uniforms for children at Tyler Heights. And this year, we are asking for $13,000 to provide 520 uniforms for 510 children at Tyler Heights Elementary School. Tyler Heights has preferred to get all of their uniforms up front. I'm sorry, if you could just advance to the next one, thanks. That way they have all their new uniforms not the day school starts, but in September, so they're able. They do ask for a second distribution, and we try to provide a few more in January. And I'd like just to share a comment by their school counselor. Providing each student with a new uniform ensures that every child begins the school year with equal opportunities to focus on their education without worrying about basics. They're grateful for our partnership, and the parents have been exceedingly thankful as well. I thank you for the time.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kim.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
No problem.
I know. I've got, yeah.
We have Anne Arundel County Public Library Foundation, Bethany Curley.
Okay, that is under education programs for children/youth, and I have a grant request of $5,000. Is that correct?
Your name and address.
Good afternoon. My name's Kathleen Sparrow. I'm the Executive Director of the Library Foundation, 5 Harry S. Truman Boulevard in Annapolis.
Good afternoon. My name is Vilma Sandoval-Saul, and I'm the Assistant Branch Manager for the Eastport Annapolis Neck Library, and the address is 269 Hillsmere Drive, Annapolis.
So our grant presentation is regarding kindergarten readiness, and the library is an agent of change in Anne Arundel County. This particular grant will fund services, will assist with funding services at Eastport Annapolis and at the Michael E. Bush Annapolis Library. We're focused at the library on access for all and intellectual freedom so that you have the right to choose the books you would like to read. Our ultimate goal is to create lifelong readers and learners in our community. We are funded, our building, our staff, and our books are funded by the county. However, pretty much everything else you see in the library, especially these programs, are funded through community donations.
So in our libraries, we offer a plethora of programs. However, our staple would be our kindergartners readiness programs. And we offer story times for all ages, from birth to up to about ages 5. And while we do these story times, we're hoping to reach and connect families, and also to model, you can go to the next slide, please, to model these 5 practices, which is talk, sing, read, write, and play, through these story times where we do in the actual branches and also in the community. Parents see these roles that we play so that they can continue to do these at home, especially with these communities that may not be able to have these practices already in place. And I wanted to share statistics here. 60% of our below 5 age, before they start kindergarten, are not ready for kindergarten, 60%. And this stats is from the Maryland Kindergartners Readiness Report. So the libraries, Eastport, Annapolis, we play a vital role in trying to support these families. You can, okay, great. And these are our story times that we have here, as you can see listed, for all age groups that we offer at our libraries. And we also offer, besides babies and toddlers and preschools, we also have our bilingual story times in other languages as well to reach all of our communities. And we also offer sensory story times as well. Great. And then also with our 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program, we have 1,100 kids registered, and they have read 74,000 books.
We continue that program with our Summer at Your Library, which is not kindergarten readiness, but we work closely with the public school system and all schools to ensure that we help prevent the summer slide, and that program is K through 12. It's just an extension of kindergarten readiness. We also offer libraries on the go, where we bring mobile libraries to daycare centers in underserved areas. So if they can't get to the library, we go to them. How does this impact our community? The ultimate goal for us is to build a stronger community. We want lifelong readers, lifelong learners, because we know that if children read, parents will read. And if parents read, and it's really caregivers, not just parents, because adults reading is really important. Our goal is to help kids succeed because it builds brighter futures for all of us. You can go to the very last slide. It unlocks children's potential. It empowers community through education. And ultimately, one of the quotes from one of our kindergarten readiness storytime moms and 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten is, because my child read so much, I started reading so much. And that is really the success of our program, is families together, as Vilma talked about. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
I'd also like to thank the library for supplying the free gun locker locks. I don't know if I have the right term for them, but
Oh, great. Yeah, Gun Lock program has been significant. We partner with so many we're the community connector of the community, and the presentation about Narcan, we do have 3 health
vending machines now in some of our libraries to help with, it's a pilot program through the health department. So thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you.
Saving lives.
Thank you. So Kunta Kinte Celebrations is next.
Yep, we have Kevin Smith with Kunta Kinte Celebrations.
Okay, and they are under Category 2 for my colleagues, and they are asking for a grant of $15,000. Thank you all for coming.
You guys are asking for a grant of $15,000, correct?
15 is right, okay.
Say your name and
Good morning, I'm Jan Lee. My address, 25 Silipana Road, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403. Say your name.
Silipana.
I'm David Stansberry, the co-chair of the Kunta Kinte Festival.
I'm Kevin Smith, co-chair of the Kunta Kinte Festival.
Sir. All right, so I'll get started here. This grant request is for the 34th annual Kunta Kinte Heritage Festival happening this September. A little bit about us. The original celebration, which was called the Kunta Kinte Celebration, was held in September of 1987. And so Kunta Kinte Celebration is the name of the nonprofit organization. It's completely volunteer run, and we're a 501c3.
This year, we will be at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. We have developed a relationship with the Navy, and we are super excited for this festival to grow here at the stadium, which of course is providing more on-site parking, more vendors, larger tent areas, and of course walkable from the Clay Street community.
So the festival, the purpose is it's a celebration of perseverance, education, and cultural heritage of the people of the African diaspora. And so some facets you can see here in our by the numbers, our projection for 2024 based on 2023 and areas of growth for this year, as Kevin mentioned with our new location, is that we'll have 11,000 attendees. We've had 10,000 plus in the past, and just with a new location, but with more area, we're looking at 11,000. And we have people come from all over the state, all over the city, all over the state, and all over the nation. We have vendors from different states such as New York, New Jersey, South Carolina, and beyond, even Missouri. I remember last year, bus trips come. So we're happy to participate in the tourism for the city of Annapolis and bringing people to experience, particularly the downtown city dock. But, you know, it will be the city of Annapolis at the Marine Corps Stadium this year. We're looking at a 20 to 30% increase in vendors, with 160 vendors potentially this year. And we have arts and crafts, cultural foods, world cuisine food vendors that attend, and education and community vendors. So we really enjoy the community partners, even our City of Annapolis partners, such as the Office of Emergency Management and various city agencies that participate as vendors at the festival. And so this brings our opportunity to have more community vendors. And we generally see around 85 plus volunteers, which we're happy as another group reported to have youth and college students that get volunteer service hours. And then our online engagement, and actually that number there is YouTube and our different social media channels, which you'll see on a different slide.
And we'd like to add, this is the 34th annual Kunta Kinte Festival, probably the longest running festival in Annapolis. The grant will just help us to secure national talent, help with our equipment rental, required insurance, and make sure we have the certified accountant for reporting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I live at Park Place, so the residents are going to be so happy that it's at the stadium.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Superior Future.
Yeah, Deontay Ward with Superior Future.
Yep, and I have them as I have them under Education Programs for Children/Youth, and a grant request for $15,000. Does that align with your notes?
Yes.
All right.
Can I share this with you?
Your name and address. Hello.
Yeah, I didn't get a presentation from you.
Can I share with you real quick? Or is that?
Mic's on.
That's on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
No. Well,
How's everybody doing? My name is Deontay Ward. I am the project coordinator for Superior Future, and we are asking for the $15,000 towards our youth summer camps. Over the last 4 years, we have partnered with like Newtown, Annapolis Gardens. This year will be Newtown and Admiral Oates to run a summer camp, which is based off of our curriculums, where we do reading, writing, math every morning, and then we turn it into a gardening program. After the garden, we typically have lunch and go into like our art program. The funds right now will help us do our art programs, which will supply a lot of the materials that we use. Right now, we are working on 2 huge community basketball court murals, which also could use the funding. Based off of the gardening projects that we did last year, we were able to actually feed our youth in the community every Wednesday through the pantries that Newtown run. And this year we plan on expanding our garden to probably one of the largest gardens in Annapolis, so that we could supply not only Newtown but any other pantries that's looking for fresh fruits and vegetables. Our goal is to expand our garden to a 50 by 80 foot raised bed behind 701 and Newtown Drive. We've already got the approval from the community. So that's pretty much it to sum it all up.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Your address.
address.
I'm sorry, 99 Clay Street is the address for Superior Future.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, we have Kia Holder with Anne Arundel Community Action Agency. Hello. I didn't get it.
Okay. So we have Community Action Committee. This is one where they're listed in 2 places as well. But I
have used a thumb drive so long. I know how to.
I have here, it's under Category 2, and I don't have a grant request. Sorry. Yeah, I don't have a grant request.
It's $28,000 for our Youth Development Services Program. Good afternoon.
Yeah, no, it's not listed as a grant request, so we'll need to, whatever, figure out why. Okay. Thanks, sorry to interrupt. Okay.
All right, my name is Kia Holder. I'm the Deputy Program Integrationist at the Anne Arundel Community Action Agency. We're located at 251 West Street in Annapolis. Our Youth Development Services, though, is housed in the Stanton Center at 92 West Washington. And the purpose of this request is to support the operating costs for the Youth Development Services. We currently have 4 Youth Development Services. We have Cub Scouts, which is for grades K through 5. We have Each One Teach One, which is a career exploration program that we are doing in partnership with the Mayor's Office for African American Services. We have a Future Success Summer Internship Program, and then our Safe Spaces Trauma Informed Mentoring. And our Trauma Informed Mentoring is where the crux of this will go. It really is an extension of the Beyond the Classroom for mental and emotional health services.
What was the word before measuring? What was it again? Could you repeat it? Something for measuring? Did you catch that?
I don't remember. The trauma-informed mentoring.
Oh, okay.
Mentoring, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a New Yorker, so our inclination is to talk fast.
Okay.
The program addresses the aftershocks of trauma and adverse childhood experiences, which sort of manifest in survival mechanisms that are often mislabeled as problem behaviors, aggression, those that don't follow the rules, disassociation, acting out, and trust. The youth meet weekly from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Stand Center for peer-to-peer and individual mentoring. We've been doing the program since August of last year, and some of the outcomes that we received is an 80% increase in meditation techniques, an 80% increase in peer respect, and a 90% increase in association vetting. The decreased negative behaviors, we found a 90% decrease in social anxiety, a 75% in impulse behavior, and a 70% in peer validation. And so what we want to do is to make sure that we're able to provide that for our youth and to be able to expand the program in addition with the additional programs that we have.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. And
We do have a question.
Yes.
In the past, you've gotten funding for Annapolis Youth Services Bureau.
Correct.
So is this the same program? You've expanded it into 4 different programs?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. So we still partner with Arundel Lodge to provide individual and family therapy. But to extend beyond that, we have the peer-to-peer components in these different programs. And I've brought handouts since you got my presentation.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Can you, in the handout, those statistics that you gave?
Yep, they're in there.
Yes,
Yes,
like
ma'am.
have those.
All right. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. The same. Thanks for coming. And Lighthouse Shelter is next.
Yep, Ann Ryan with Lighthouse Shelter.
They're under, obviously, homelessness addiction programs, and I have a grant request for $40,000.
Yes.
Can you just confirm that? Is that your grant request?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
thank you so much.
Thanks.
Just your name and address.
My name is Ann Ryan, and address of the Lighthouse is 10 Hudson Street in Annapolis.
And I'm Jenny Crawford. I'm the interim executive director of the Lighthouse.
Go ahead. Okay, great. Thank you for having us here today. As part of the Lighthouse, the Safe Harbor Resource Center is open 27 hours a week throughout the year and is staffed by a director of community support and diversion, a rapid rehousing program manager, a client advocate, and a program coordinator. The goal of the Safe Harbor Resource Center is to provide prevention and diversion services to ensure that homelessness in our community does not become homeless in our community do not become chronically homeless, and those that are at risk of homelessness do not fall into a state of homelessness. The Safe Harbor Resource Center serves a population that includes those that are literally homeless, at imminent risk of homelessness, homeless under other federal statutes, or fleeing or attempting to flee domestic violence. And the Safe Harbor serves 2 subgroups: those that require intensive case management, housing assistance, or crisis response, and those needing referrals or basic needs to allow them to maintain housing. The Lighthouse is grateful for the support it's received from the City of Annapolis, and it's helped us continue to serve our most vulnerable neighbors. Over the past 5 years, the Safe Harbor Resource Center has served more than 4,000 individuals, a number that has steadily increased and is far above our estimated projections. During this time, the overall budget for the Lighthouse has doubled, and we continue to serve 30% more individuals and families than during the pandemic. And the Lighthouse respectively requests $40,000 for the Safe Harbor Prevention Center Homeless Prevention and Diversion Outreach Program.
And actually, can you pull up that chart real quick? Sorry. Because I'd like to draw your attention to this chart. Our projections since Safe Harbor has opened have remained steady. We have not seen the balance post-COVID. So we have been anticipating serving about 450 individuals. We're now over 1,000 per year. That is just case management for our outreach center. It is not food insecure. It is not employment. It is not residential. Those numbers aren't going down. As Ann mentioned, our operating budget is double what it was before. We are going to hit a sustainability wall. So we are asking for help from the City of Annapolis.
How many beds does the shelter have? I just was curious about that.
So it's beds for 45 individuals and then 4 families. We also operate quite a few permanent supportive housing units as well. So those numbers are also not included in this. This is unsheltered individuals or those that are about to fall into homelessness. So I recognize that funds are limited for this grant, but since we have the opportunity to speak to the council, respectfully, I would ask that you consider other ways that the City of Annapolis might be able to help, because again, these numbers are going up; they're not going down.
Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you made time. No problem. We have Anne Arundel County Literacy Council next with Jane Sace. Hope I said it right.
Okay. Literacy Council.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jane Cease, and I'm the Executive Director of the Anne Arundel County Literacy Council. We are located at 80 West Street in downtown Annapolis. We applied for $4,000 in funding to support our adult education programs in Annapolis. The Literacy Council provides free literacy, math, high school diploma, and English language instruction for low-income adults in Annapolis and throughout Anne Arundel County. We also tutor at the Jennifer Road Detention Center. Our students work with tutors to earn a high school diploma, find a job or a better paying job, qualify for training programs, pass the ASVAB military entrance exam, speak and understand English, increase participation in their children's education, become citizens, or live independently. Our services are all free, including books, one-on-one tutoring, and assessments. Literacy Council tutors and staff are all volunteers. Last year, they donated more than 14,000 hours of their time. Tutors meet students weekly for sessions at local libraries. We work with underserved people who were born and raised here and a growing immigrant population. Last year, 73% of our students were women, about a third were African American, a third were Hispanic, and 10% were Asian. Today, 39% of our students are Spanish speaking, and that number is growing every month. Thanks to our tutoring programs, students are empowered to move toward better lives, which also impacts youth and families. Our programs contribute to the Annapolis economy by helping people qualify for and get hired for jobs. Our dedicated volunteer staff provides year-round support for students and tutors. An Annapolis Community Support Grant will enable us to purchase books and materials for at least 38 Annapolis students, probably more like 50 if our growth continues at the pace it is, and will provide staff support for these students and their tutors. We will also be able to continue community outreach. We requested $4,000 in total, and when you break this down, it's about $105 per student. Our FY25 operating budget will be about $100,000. More than $96,000 of those dollars will be funded by Anne Arundel County, foundations, corporate support, Literacy Council members, and other private donors. With your help, we will make life better for so many deserving people and their families. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, and for my colleagues, that was under education programs for children/youth, and it was a grant request for $4,000.
Yes.
So,
Up next, we have Co-op Anne Arundel, Yasmin Jamison.
okay. On that, colleagues, it is under education programs for adults, and I have here a grant request for $28,000.
Show it first or after?
Maybe show it first. Thanks. Hi. So your name and address and then your presentation.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Yasmin Jamison, and I'm the president and founder of Co-op Arundel. And the address is 214 St. Anton's Way in Arnold. But I have a video first to show, and then maybe. Okay. Thank you.
Today, the partners and the guiders were excited. They made goals, they talked to each other, they started to build a relationship, and now they're gonna put whatever they talked about in those goals into action.
the ladies in the room were very open to what we were talking about. I think they were ready to do the work. Mental health is vitally important, so I'm here to shine a light on it and teach them some valuable skills that they need in order to take care of themselves and to pass on that information so that they can take care of others as well.
We have gone 5 weeks so far. The ladies are progressing. One thing we're discovering over the last 5 weeks is that not only are the topics the normal topics that we always cover, however, the need to continuously shift mindset.
I talked about my past. I have a very traumatic past of sexual abuse, of neglect, abandonment, and then abuse even in our systems of care. That led me to 19 years of living on the street, homeless. I was being misdiagnosed mentally ill, and for so long just living without hope. So today, to be able to give hope after I lived so many years without hope, it's just amazing.
Most of all, we're grateful and thankful for the transformation. We're expecting big because it is going to be big. Today, we will be talking about our needs and our wants. We will also be talking about how to keep good credit and savings. So if you ever want a good program, MSK is the program that you would want to sign up for.
Please be still.
So I just want to say that in 2020, we started the My Sister's Keeper, and this fall will be our 8th session. We also started our My Brother's Keeper, and this fall it'll be our 4th, and we're hoping to start a My Youth's Keeper pilot in the fall. So these programs for me are not just merely providing assistance, they are about fostering lasting change. Graduates have achieved remarkable milestones and obtained their GEDs, gained employment, got raises and promotions, they've bought homes, they've started their own businesses, and and they're giving back to their communities.
Just concluding remarks. Yeah.
We will use this for the fall, and we really appreciate all the help that the city has given us from the beginning. So we're hoping that you'll, give us money again. And then if any other questions, I can send information and.
Yeah, we're going to have questions in a document if applicable, so we'll get them to you.
Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day.
Told you it would be fast. No problem.
I just jinxed it. Okay.
Next, we have Wellness House of Annapolis, Mary Germain. Hope I didn't mess that up. German.
So they are under, they're under services for youth and adults.
Yes.
I have here you're asking for a grant of $10,000, is that correct?
Asking for 10,000?
Yes. Yes, okay.
Your name and your address.
Mary German, Executive Director of Wellness House of Annapolis, and our address is 2625 Moss K Farm Road. I have with me today Marshall Kaputzos, who's our, go ahead.
Hello, I'm the Operations and Grant Manager.
So thank you for having us, and thank you for all that you're doing for the community. It may surprise you. I'm not sure how long each one of you has been where you are in the city, but the city of Annapolis has supported Wellness House of Annapolis since 2016 with your grant, so we are very grateful for that support. It's really critically important for Wellness House of Annapolis. We provide support and services for people going through cancer. Everything is non-medical and everything is free. And what we consider services and programs, they range from counseling, support groups, health and well-being programs, and full children's programs. We don't receive insurance payments, we don't charge for services, and we're not affiliated with any hospital, but we receive 99% referrals from social workers from oncology centers, we are told. In order for us to continue to provide these free programs, we rely heavily on grantors and donors. To offset payroll expenses, we're looking for this support from City of Annapolis, again, through our free programs and services to provide emotional and mental health support to individuals with cancer diagnosis. And we consider the whole family to have received the cancer diagnosis. Everybody in this community is touched by cancer. And when I say that, it's everybody in the family who is diagnosed with the cancer, because everybody has the challenges. What we see is the children who struggle much with their parents because their foundation is broken many times and the parents have a lot of difficulty talking them through the challenging time. We have counselors, social workers, licensed clinical social workers on staff to support these individuals. So in 2023, we have experienced an increase 17% in new membership, 18% increase in member visits, 48% increase in child members ages 3 through 18, and an 8% increase in counseling sessions. When COVID hit in 2019 and 2020, we were seeing approximately 25 people per week at the house, at the Wellness House. We had to close our doors and open our virtual doors. We started receiving more and more visits and more members to our services and programs. We are now averaging over 100 member visits per week. As an organization, our active membership has doubled from 800 members in 2019 to over 1,600 members. Our child memberships have increased as well, 25 times the amount since 2019. Again, we serve an average of 100 members visits per week to our programs, and we receive average 30 new members monthly. The 3 pillars of our programs and services are psychosocial counseling and support, health and well-being programs, and children and family programs. It is no surprise, as stated in Anne Arundel Community Health Needs Assessment Report in 2022, that every year over 2,500 Anne Arundel County residents are diagnosed with cancer. In addition, and equally important, the NIH recently published a study that mental health needs in cancer, a call for change, states that the marked increase from earlier reports, along with an escalating trend over the years, prompt an urgent call for comprehensive and integrative care that encompasses both oncology and mental health. Thank you again. Can I read the one quote at the end?
Of course.
Thank you so much, and so much to cover.
I know.
Thank you for your patience. A member quote, so special and covers so much. The Wellness House brought back my balance in life during this difficult time. I was lost for a couple of days while trying to figure out what to do with this diagnosis. I Googled places that provided support around this area and found you. You connected all the dots and brought me back together. My first interaction was during a Reiki session. Just walking into the farmhouse was an amazing experience, so peaceful and welcoming. The windows were open so I could hear the birds. I felt like I was in a Hallmark movie. Thank you for bringing peace and balance to my life. I hope I can give back one day for what you are doing for me. Thank you to all for being there for me, for the podcast, the meditation, tapping, yoga, positivity group, breast cancer group. God bless, and thank you all. And thank you for considering our request.
Thank you.
And that person will give back.
Yeah, they will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, we have
One Annapolis.
Is
it Ratisha Harley?
It's a Bywater.
Ratasha? I knew I was going to destroy it. Girl. I'll answer to anything. It's all right. I did.
Okay, One Annapolis, I think I saw it somewhere. One Annapolis, let me just find you. Just a little confused because there's under the mayor's office, there's One Annapolis, so I was thrown a little bit. We have you under category 2, and you're asking for a grant of $25,000. Does that align with your notes? Okay, all right, you can start.
Good afternoon. My name is Ratasha Harley. I live at 909 E Royal Street, Annapolis, Maryland. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm Ratasha Harley, and my address is 909 E Royal Street, Annapolis, Maryland. I am the executive director of One Annapolis, and I'm here today to chat a little bit about the initiative that we're hoping to continue with in the Bywater community called Bywater Standing Together. As you all know, I'm sure, summer of 2023 was very hard on us in the Bywater community, where we had 2 teenage boys that were murdered in our community. And actually before the death of the second young man, a group of us got together and started this initiative called Bywater Standing Together. Subsequent to our meeting, we did, that's us, a needs assessment where we walked around, talked to residents, and just tried to see what are some different things that we can do as a community to help band together and empower ourselves. And based upon that, we've just been moving forward with all kinds of different community events and just different strategies to not only get residents engaged, but to make us feel safer, to enhance our community, but to do it together as a unit. That's why it's a unity in the community and very unifying. So the priorities of the grant, I have them kind of listed here, but also with some pictures of, that's from our Kwanzaa dinner, empowering our residents. You know, these are events that aren't necessarily run by me. They are organized and planned and executed by members of the community, enhancing the character of our community. Those are pictures from the trunk or treat that One Annapolis combines with the Boys and Girls Club, and we do every year. That actually brings in not just Bywater residents, but kids from all over the city of Annapolis. Growing and establishing programs and community revitalization. We have a community garden, and just this past Saturday, we had a great Earth Day event where we were all out. Annapolis City Police Department came out as well, and we have plans, of course, to expand that effort. And then there's our impact. So last year, summer of 2023, we did receive funding, and we unfortunately weren't able to do something in the Bywater community, but we did have a wonderful project called Peace of Mind, an art therapy program for women, and we did it out in Eastport, and we're hoping to bring that to Bywater this year. As I stated before, we've had community dinners, all kinds of events, prayer walks, and there it is. And so we do hope to continue to receive that funding for this initiative. And we thank you, of course, for the funding that we've received previously.
Just one clarification question. So this is limited to Bywater Court?
So what we've been doing, yes, has been in Bywater, kind of in vein along with the Adopt a Community, the initial Adopt a Community grant. But unfortunately, last summer, we weren't able to do it exclusively in Bywater, and I know Alderwoman Finlayson, is aware of that, and so we did move it to Eastport. Yep.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming in.
No problem.
Thank you.
Next, we have Annapolis Kappa Scholarship Fund, Carlos Clay.
Alrighty, it should be under, we have that under education programs for children/youth.
Yes, ma'am.
And you asked for a grant of $6,500, is
Yes,
that
ma'am.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for your patience.
Good afternoon. My name is Alan Griffin. I'm the co-chair of the Annapolis Scholarship Fund, and the address would be P.O. Box 628, Gambles, Maryland, 21054.
You can start when you're ready.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, thank you for this opportunity to allow us to, this will be our first time asking for funds, so we thank you for that. Good afternoon again, and my name is Alan Griffin. I'm the co-chair of the Godright Kappa League Leadership Development Program, conceived in 1922 as the oldest male-led mentoring program in the United States. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to my co-chair, Mr. Carlos Clay.
So, good afternoon. What we would like to do is share a little bit about Kappa League Leadership Program that we're involved in. It's a national mentoring program that is facilitated through local alumni chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. The Annapolis alumni chapter, which we are a part of, actively is involved with 6th graders through 12th graders, and we focus on educational achievement, occupational awareness, and social guidance in order to help grow the leadership skills of each one of our members in whatever field of human endeavor they take on. Currently, we have 20 Kappa Leaguers in the program, and we target areas such as Robinwood, Newtown 20, Bywaters, Annapolis Walk, Clay Street, and other areas. We target the specific schools that we're targeting is Annapolis Middle and Annapolis High School. The Kappa League program, we have 7 objectives that we follow. This is pushed down from our national, and we are all consistent in focusing on these areas. We try to help young men develop self-identity, self-discipline, self-awareness, and understand their purpose. In phase 2, we try to increase their level of academic aptitude through leadership training, workshops that we conduct both locally and their participation on a more regional and national level. As far as competition in phase 3, we focus on trying to employ healthy competition in the field of politics, sports, and teamwork. We have debate challenges and things of that nature. And then from a social standpoint, we look at trying to build social development through the principles of religion, the arts, interpersonal communication, and social etiquette. In health education, we focus on health and wellness through physical fitness, sexual education program, as well as drug prevention. And then we look at economic empowerment through financial literacy, and we give them some exposure to college life to help them visualize themselves in that environment at some point once they reach graduation. I'll pass it on to Alan so that he can speak to some of the impacts that we've had in the program.
So the impact that we're most proud of, that we have first generational high school students that graduate from college, high school. We have first generational students right now currently in colleges throughout the United States. And we're asking that for the funding will be provided that we continue the work that we do in Annapolis over the course of 20 years, over 150 boys. And we just about a good work, and we just want to make sure that we continue that endeavor throughout the Annapolis community. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Backpack Buddies program with Heritage Baptist Church, NZ Heminger.
Okay.
I know I messed that up.
So they're under food programs for children, youth, Heritage Baptist Church Backpack Buddies, and their grant request was for $5,000. Hi.
Hi, I'm Bruce Livingston. I'm not Enza Heminger. Enza runs our Backpack Buddies program. I run our food pantry program, and last year both programs got a grant, and we both filed for a new grant this year.
Okay. Two separate grant requests?
Yes, $5,000 for Backpack Buddies, $4,000 for the food pantry.
Okay. I don't think, making note of that. Okay. It isn't on my matrix,
Did you get my PowerPoint?
the food pantry grant request of $4,000.
Yeah, it's at the very top.
Oh, it's in another place.
I have it with me.
On the front, on the other sheet. That
Okay,
starts with
all right.
food programs.
Because I got some nice pictures.
Under food programs.
Perfect.
No, that's not that. Yeah.
Here, yeah, there's no grant request.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
No,
sorry.
no.
You can name, address, and
Aisha.
you can start.
Nice to meet you.
so I don't know why that is. Name and address.
Okay. So I'm Bruce Livingston from Heritage Baptist Church. We're at 1740 Forest Drive, Annapolis, Maryland. And we have a presentation to make. We have a food ministry program at Heritage Baptist Church, and it's really ran by a leadership team of 4 different churches and local business people and local neighbors. And we have 2 programs, Backpack Buddies and the Food Pantry program. And we had grants last year, and we're applying for grants this year. And so I'd like to just move through the program and tell you a little bit about each one. Our Backpack Buddies program is basically, we supplement a federal government program that feeds kids during the week that don't have the money for lunches, and we give them the food for the weekend, okay? So each week we pack bags of food and we deliver to 2 Annapolis schools for 60 children, okay? The bags are placed in backpacks on Fridays for weekend meals. There's 7 meals altogether, 2 breakfasts, 2 lunch, 2 dinners, along with snacks. We do 30 at Mills Parole, and we do 30 at Georgetown Elementary. And as you see, Heritage is right on Forest Drive, and we try to reach our local community, and those two schools are right beside us. We provide 1,400 meals per month, about 1,500 pounds of food to those 60 kids each month. We've been operating the Backpack Buddies program for 14 years, and I believe the city of Annapolis has been giving us grants for that program for quite a while, which we really appreciate. We have 10 dedicated volunteers who pack and deliver each week, and our annual budget is right around $15,000. I just have a few pictures to show you. We have a dedicated team. That's some of our team there. We have to bring the food in. There's food each month. We've got to bring the food in. Most of it we have to buy with the Backpack Buddies. We have a dedicated room on our church for the Backpack Buddies program. We can move on. There's a team packing the bags. You can keep flicking through there. We load the cars once a week, and on Thursdays we deliver to the schools. And there's a picture of what we deliver to Mills Parole each week throughout the school year. That's our Backpack Buddies program. Our Food Pantry program, we've been in the food pantry business for over 25 years at Heritage Baptist Church. And we open every single Tuesday from 9 to 11 year-round. And people can come once a month, but they can come any given Tuesday. We serve primarily Annapolis residents, and it's growing. What's nice about our food pantry is offer client choice. People can get a grocery cart and come in and actually pick the food that they want. Each family can come once a month. We provide almost 50 pounds of food when they come in. It's a nice, well-balanced food, canned and dry goods, eggs, meat, fresh produce, bread, and we do baby products. We're partner with the Anne Arundel County Food Bank, who I see is up next, which we really wouldn't be in business without. Like the bulk of the food that we give comes from the Anne Arundel County Food Bank. But we use the money from the grant to buy things like eggs and butter and different things that we can't get from the food banks. Our annual budget is $24,000, and this statistic's the most important one. In 2018, we're serving 73 families a month. This year, we're at 180. It's growing like crazy. Influx of immigrants and parolees and people in rehab and just poor families as the prices are going up. So the average, I wanted to back up just a second, because right now we're giving 10,000 pounds of food a month. Each week we serve about 40 to 50 families, so that's a ton of food a week that's coming out of our facility each week. Thank you. Next picture is, this is just a picture of what we do each week. Our fellowship hall turns into a food pantry. You can turn to the next page. There's our client choice. People get grocery carts and they come in, they can pick exactly what they want. And like I said, it's a lot of food. There's a picture of a grocery cart that we bring it out, put it in the cars for them. And we have people that come every month, and they don't have to spend money on that food, and they can go pay their rent or do something else. And then we have a great volunteer team. It's really magical. 4 different churches, local business people, and so we're really blessed. We just want to keep it going, okay? And then there's a picture that's in front of our church, and there happens to be another person in the room, our Pastor Scott. Our summary is this. We're committed to feeding the insecure neighbors of Annapolis. We have 2 reliable programs that operate every week for decades. The need is growing. We're trying to establish reliable funding sources, and we're asking the city of Annapolis to continue to be a partner in this for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Up next, we have Anne Arundel County Food Bank, Leah Paley.
I'm destroying everybody. That's okay.
Okay.
At least you got Leah right.
I have here that your grant request is for $30,000?
That's correct.
Okay. And they're under food programs for children/youth. Okay. Go ahead.
My name is Leah Paley. I'm the CEO of the Anne Arundel County Food Bank. Our address is 120 Marbury Drive in Crownsville. You can go to the next slide. So I just wanted to start by giving everyone an overview of our impact in the city of Annapolis. And I should back up and say thank you for having me here today. It's wonderful to see some familiar faces. As you can see by this chart, the impact is significant. Bruce just spoke to Heritage Baptist, which is one of our longstanding partners, and without these pantries in the city of Annapolis, we couldn't do the work that we do each and every day. As you can see, there has been an uptick in both the number of network partners, the number of distributions, the number of instances of service, as well as the cost to support these pantries. This year, we project we'll have a total of 408 distributions that we support across the city of Annapolis. That's for a total of 103,000 instances of service. The cost to support these partners to us is just over $400,000, and we were grateful to receive $5,000 to support our efforts. So this is just a map so you can get a sense of where we are throughout the county. Specifically, we have a total of 10 network partners that operate multiple distributions. Bruce spoke to theirs operating once a week. We have some who are operating multiple times a week. And that cluster, of course, in the Annapolis area is where they're located. We put this pantry map on top of the ALICE thresholds, those familiar with asset limited, income constrained, employed, in the City of Annapolis area where we are supporting these 10 partners. There is approximately 30 to almost 40% of the residents living below the ALICE threshold. So what we did with the $5,000 we received this past year, we were able to purchase 55 cases of apples, oranges, green peppers, and potatoes. So we are focused on purchasing healthy produce. The cost to an individual is significant, and we're very fortunate at the food bank where we can purchase directly from wholesalers, unlike many of our network partners or consumers who are purchasing from retailers. So we're getting a reduced price and really are able to stretch the dollar a lot further. So we were able to get 55 cases of each of these items, which translated to just over 8,000 pounds, and we helped approximately 880 households with about 10 pounds of produce each. So what we're asking for this year, we'd like to increase that. You saw what the total cost is to support the city of Annapolis. In addition to that, we're also supporting one-offs. We just partnered with Eastport Elementary School, partnering with Tyler Heights next month, and we got a call from Mills Parole. They're doing back-to-school nights. We want to support those things. They cost money. So with this funding, we're able to take it, purchase directly from wholesalers, and stretch it much further. So with it, we can do 6 times the amount of what we were doing. So that translates to 51,000 pounds and 5,000 households impacted. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are you awake? Yes. Yeah. I don't know what happened here because I think it's because we're almost like on schedule. I think it's the 3 minutes versus the 5. Did we? Yeah. How did that happen? All right. Yeah, Jackie's. Okay. Is that your understand, Jackie? Go ahead.
The next one I have is Scott Shelton from Newtown CDC.
Yeah. Scott Shelton. Yeah. Right. I have him. All right, and they're under services for youth and adults, and their grant I have here of $22,607. Is that correct? The grant request.
Yes, yes. I'm Scott Sheldon. I'm the pastor of Heritage Baptist, but
also on the board of Newtown CDC, and Yavola Peters, she called me and asked me to come and speak, and I don't know about you, but I say yes when Ms. Peters tells me to do something. Scott Shelton, and our address for Newtown CDC is P.O. Box 6160, 21401.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
all right, I just I think for me, what we're asking for to me is a long-term investment in our kids. And the thing that I want to say is that that I see, that I'm experiencing, is that these are our children, and letting a community own that in a unique way, and not it be dispersed throughout even the county, but to really focus and to really own that. And we're asking the city for help. And if I'm just to be 100% honest, like we're begging you for this. Like we were on a shoestring budget this whole past year. Not all of it just how an organization can run, but summer enrichment programs for the children that are on site, that allow them from the morning to the evening to have a safe place to be and to play, is so important. I've spent the last several afternoons at Woodside Garden, and children aren't in the middle playing. They're on the outskirts, and I feel responsible for that. This is our community, and we have a structure in place by which we believe that can help these kids kind of get to the next step and to the next role for them in their lives, and not even just them, but also for their parents and their grandparents and whoever else they might be living with. And so that we have, through a survey and other things, we've identified at least 40 children that live just at Woodside that would be receiving these benefits, as well as part of this grant would be, it is this ongoing multiple times a week after school program they get off the bus and they get Dorothea Abrams takes them from the bus to the community center right there, and right to Homework Haven. And just another observation is that there's nothing there. There's no Boys and Girls Club. There's nothing there for them. And so this grant will help fund programs for these kids. And so the NCDC, we operate with a memorandum of understanding with Fairstead, obviously the owners of Woodside. And so that's important to us, trying to align everyone's interests together and focusing all of our efforts in the same direction. So this is what this grant does, and it's going to help us do that more effectively, as well as build credibility with Fairstead, because we want them to know that there are people that care about their residents, which will hopefully help with other conditions. You know, it's all together, right? It's all cyclical in so many ways. So that's what I have, and I thank you on behalf of the Newtown CDC.
I don't think my colleagues would mind me saying that we all share that sense of responsibility.
I know you do.
So don't feel it all on your shoulders. So
Yep.
thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
Thank you all.
Okay. And last but not least today, is that correct? It's probably a good breaking.
I think we have one more, right?
I may need to get my ducks in a row before tomorrow.
Jackie?
Whatever.
Yes.
Yes.
Jackie Coleman with Maryland Hall for Creative Arts.
Thank you so much. Am I last?
Well, yes. you are.
For now, last but not least.
Last but not least. And so we have you under category 2, and you have a grant request for $30,000. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
That is
yours.
correct. Well, thank you all so much for hearing me today. Again, I'm Jackie Coleman from Maryland Hall. Thank you, 801 Chase Street. This is before lunch, so I'm not all here. 801 Chase Street here in Annapolis. We did receive $20,000 last year for our free offerings that we have in the arts, and we were able to welcome over 2,500 visitors into the organization through our galleries, through our performances, our outreach programs, workshops, events, and other opportunities, some of which are paid, but many of which are free, and festivals and opportunities to adjunct and support things that are already happening in the community. This year, we did ask for $30,000. Maryland Hall has been expanding and growing, and doors have been reopening. But I also just wanted to share a couple of things with you to lift up some things for you to hear today, to lift up for consideration for this. First thing is, and I don't know if you know this, because I don't think we were able to write it into the grant, but we have been working with the library. We're trying to find a way to provide as many free tickets to our Maryland Hall Presents shows. Each Maryland Hall Presents show that we bring in, just the show itself, not even all the staff that supports it, just to bring the artists in, costs around $20,000. So our ticket sales offset some of that cost for us. And we want to offer reduced priced or free tickets to those. So this past year, we didn't know where, we just said, we're going to pull some funding from our general operating, and we said, we're going to partner with the library, and they offer a raffle for each of our Maryland Hall Presents shows to their library card holders. And we give 4 pairs of tickets for each of the 6 shows. That's what we were able to do this past year, which was 48 tickets. We would like the opportunity to expand and add some more to that programming and increase maybe to 6 pairs of tickets. So we think this might be an opportunity to start to expand that. And then we could start to collect some data on how many are actually coming. We haven't been able to track that yet, to follow through, so we could ask for then additional money because we can prove that people are actually using the tickets. Another area that we're looking to expand and grow into is in our gallery offerings, which are always all free offerings. We have our galleries on the 2nd floor, the Earl and the Martino galleries, and then our Openshaw gallery up on the 3rd floor, which is a hallway gallery. But if you've walked through Maryland Hall, there's a lot of space. There's a lot of wall space. There's space outside. There's space right when you come in on the ground floor that we sometimes use. But we would really like to have our director of programming spend some time thinking about how can we activate as much of all of our spaces and really turn the entire Arts Center into like the feeling of an ongoing exhibition and a place where we can celebrate culture. And then the last piece I wanted to share with you today is that we did just find out some news a few days ago that was a little disappointing, that is making the need a little bit higher. Not a little bit, it's making it higher in the outreach area, our Jovenes Artistas program. You may be familiar with the ESSER dollars for the school district. They are sunsetting at the end of, I guess, this fiscal year in July. And we've been talking to the school district about how we are going to fund the various different programs that we're doing with the school district to be able to continue to offer the services where they're wanted. And we're able to find potential other pockets of money in community school funding and other funding that they have, but they were not able to identify any area to support the outreach program, which is Jovenes Artistas, and we had been receiving dollars from them to continue that program. So that piece of it is an extra need that when we first were putting this grant in, we didn't even know that that was going to be an obstacle for us. So I just wanted to share those 3 thoughts with you. Thank you so much for your time and your consideration, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this beautiful day.
Thank you. You as well. Thanks for coming in.
Nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
Great.
Enjoy your lunch. Thank you. You too.
So I don't, even if we kept going, we would have been shy about 3 or 4. So my bad. I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but we still wouldn't have made it. But I think now is a good time. First thing is we need this sheet to align. I've got about, I probably should make a copy of this for you. I think I have 4 or 5, at least half a dozen examples. 7, 8, 9, 10, about a dozen almost examples of where the organization is listed twice. There's no math error, but you have it listed twice, perhaps because we gave to them last year and then whatever. So, yeah,
Okay.
And I can actually give you this. I just want to make sure that we didn't miss anything there or something happened. Also, there were 2, I think, there was, I was confused with the Heritage Church having 2 organizations. However, one of them, they didn't, it was the backpack and the food pantry.
I only have them listed for Backpack Buddies.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he was talking about the food pantry. And he said he had a $4,000 grant request, but you didn't have that. You just had a $5,000. Was that all for Backpack Buddies?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what happened there, why he thought he had a $4,000. You heard that as well?
It sounds like he thought he was presenting for both programs.
Yeah.
The food pantry and Backpack Buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we only have Backpack Buddies here.
But he wasn't aware that that's what he was
probably wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, he said he actually had a grant request for $4,000 for the food pantry, so something happened there. And then, was there something in STAIR? Oh, their grant, for STAIR, their grant, a request from their notes was $10,000. Didn't you all hear that? And, yeah, I remember that she said, yeah, no, we actually asked for only 10,000, but we have here.
Yeah, but we have 15, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
I can take another look at their application.
Could we see the applications? I think it would be beneficial, because then we could see how many people they impact and all of that. We don't have any of the backup data.
I think she.
Just now? Okay, so we do have it now.
Yeah, we would ask for that. And then what happened with community action? Did they get their grant request in?
There was not an application from them or from Bates. So that's why there's no requested amount listed, because we actually didn't get applications from them.
I think
That is a major problem.
I think those organizations, and there are a couple of others, Bates, who had traditionally been part of the mayor's budget. And I think this year, I don't know why it changed, and maybe it was the change of administration. But my understanding was that the mayor had included those items.
They're in the mayor's proposed budget.
What is exactly?
The Bates
The
and Community Action.
Agency, Bates.
But you had asked, you don't see an application, and the answer is correct. There was not an application that was made for those organizations. Those organizations, the funding for those was part of the mayor's proposed, but not things that they considered because there was not an application for them. So that happened later in that process.
Where is it in the mayor's proposed budget besides here where there's not an application? Is it in another spot?
No, it's just there.
Okay. So there, yeah, I'm looking at the mayor's budget, and I had the same question. Okay, so we don't, okay, so.
Yeah, I mean, they've been in the community grants.
They've always been in community grants.
list.
Well, not always.
Well, I
they're-
mean, since,
Recently,
I don't know,
but-
recently, I don't, but yeah. And then, okay, but we don't know what happened with Wiley, is that, I haven't even seen
And the
that
other
yet.
one was the the monument.
Alex Haley, yeah, she got her application. I told her we will consider her. And I did send her an email to see if she can come and present. So
But she didn't submit an application until,
I think she got one in late, but I made her a folder and considered her in the process.
Yeah, they submitted an application.
Yeah.
okay.
So can I ask that the Appendix E in our book,
Has to
we
be
go
amended.
through, yeah, we need to amend it and go through and take out the duplications. And then also, I think that I would like to have us either take out the people that did not request funding this year, that we're not giving funding to, or drop them to the bottom of the list and make it just a column of previously funded grants.
for the 2024. Because it's really confusing to us to look through this and see, one, the duplications, and then also whether people have requested funds or not. And then I would like to bring back in one of our days next week the mayor's office to discuss those two, because $58,000.
Which two?
I'm sorry, the Community Action Agency and the Wiley H. Bates. He was on the schedule. Wiley H. Bates was on the schedule today to come and present. But I honestly have a hard time putting money into the community grants for people that did not apply. And if they're here, they need to apply. We also, according to our code, they need to submit quarterly reports. And of the 52 that we granted last year, as far as I can see, we have less than 20. And I understand that some people only did one report because that's where they got their money. But I would like to see a synopsis of that, because our code, following our code, the rules of our city government says that you cannot be, we can choose to not evaluate that application if you haven't done your due diligence with the previous grant. And in fairness to all nonprofits, every nonprofit knows that that is the way you continue getting grants. And we've seen time and time again in the news of people who had previously received grants that are no longer getting them because they did not follow the guidelines for that grant. And Deputy Dave Mandel yesterday said exactly that it's very important that they follow the grant procedures in order to maintain and keep the grants that we're getting in one of our city departments that gets over a third of their budget from grants. Like, there has to be a way in which we evaluate, and I understand that there's important work being done, but we need to be fair across the board. We cannot be picking and choosing who we're going to take a quarterly report from or not. That's my say.
To that point, and what Alderwoman O'Neill is referring to is the code section 6.16.070, listing the requirement for reports, and failure to comply with this section may result in the denial of subsequent community grant program funding. So she's correct that could be a reason for denial. But my question is, it says the finance department shall send a list of these nonprofit organization quarterly reports to each city council member. Oh no, that wasn't what I meant. The finance department shall develop and provide the forms for a nonprofit organization to use in preparing the reports this section requires. I just want to make sure that we're doing our part, but there's no one from finance here. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, that section of the code probably needs to be cleaned out, because it's not finance really who sends that at this point. That was something that ended up being a little bit of a hiccup this year, where we had just email transition that broke the link that had initially been sent out. That was something that Aisha was able to get rectified pretty quickly once we were aware of it. So we have some organizations who ended up having some trouble submitting reports because of that. But those had initially been sent out, but then we had a problem, and that's on our end.
Okay. I'm not sure if we're going to make a decision here, but I do want clarification on amending Appendix E. And so we have, I think what I see here is that you wanted to reference last year, and which is good because our budget always references the year before. So I think that column that adds up to the 370 has to be there, you know. Okay, so I'm just looking at what you, Alderman O'Neill, what you don't want, an example of what you don't want to see, because we have a couple of categories. They got something last year, they got something this year. We have a category where they didn't get something last year, but they got something this year. But, you know, I don't see a category that we can't omit, because then it would screw up the 2024 budget total. So,
Right, and I'm not saying admit it, but for instance.
yeah, give me a for instance.
I'll give you a for instance. The Wellness House, and the Wellness House is listed under Services for Youth and Adults, and they're also listed under, see, this is my problem. I know that they're listed twice because I was crossing them out.
I know, yeah, that's
one of them.
right.
So they're listed under, if somebody could help me.
I know, well, there's 30.
Oh, I'm sorry, they're listed,
That's when I didn't see the duplication.
oh yeah, they're listed twice under Services for Youth and Adults. One's under Annapolis Wellness Corporation, DBA
Oh, okay.
Wellness House,
Yeah.
and one's under Wellness House. And under the one that is up top, that I actually crossed out for 5,000 in FY '24, down below, it says, it appears as if they didn't have anything in FY '24.
Yeah.
To me, it's not as important as which category they were under last year. If they received funds last year, it should be listed next to
Yeah.
whatever
that's-
category they've been
Yeah,
moved to.
and that's what I'm finding in most of these examples, is that if you just got to squish them up into one line, and that one line will say what they got last year and what they're asking for this year. Because usually in those duplications, it's not there's not a number problem, it's like
So
their
one
last year number is blank.
Yeah, so one question for you, just, is the categorization has certainly been there for a couple of years, but is that actually helpful for you to have them categorized?
I find it helpful because I know that last year when we were evaluating them, we wanted to make sure that we were hitting all of the parts, whether it's the LGBT community, the Hispanic community, children and youth services, as well as adults and homeless. So it is helpful for them to be in one of those subtexts under community grants. It is at least as helpful for me. But for instance,
so if you have an organization that really does change categories, this is where I'm is it more helpful to simply like have a note that yes, they got funding last year, but it was for something else, and this year is a different purpose?
You're having, that's an example of an organization that you feel should be in a different category this year?
Yeah, and what I'm exploring is if we sort of redo how we approach that Appendix E to make it easier to read, we don't have some of the duplicates, that kind of stuff. What I'm wondering is how to handle some of those kind of cases. And sorry.
Okay, yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Go ahead, Alderman Bill Charles.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For me, it's helpful, and I'll give you one example. I had mentioned to Ms. Lee months ago that we didn't have a category.
Why are you back there? Come on up to the table.
That we seem, because a lady in a certain community had come to me about a grandchild who had special needs. And I couldn't find anything. And I mentioned to Ms. Lee probably 6 months ago, that this time around we should have something, some sort of event activity that a group provides to children with special needs. And I think I mentioned it to CRAB, and I think that's why they came in today, because there was a hole, a gap that I could see in what services were being provided. So for me, it was like ticking off the box. Did we check, does this organization do this? This one do this? Is there somebody else who does that? But that's the reason I myself went to try to find something else. So yeah, it's helpful.
Okay.
The problem I have is that, it's apples to oranges, because, I'm thinking, we should do a pie chart, because then we can see how much are we doing to, food what's my word?
Desert.
Food desert, and how much are we doing towards education? Do you know what I mean? And does it align with our strategic plan, right? I mean, but it gets weird, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you have these very clear subsections under categories.
But for instance, Anne Arundel County CASA is under homeless and addiction, but what they talked with us about is the court of volunteers, which I would have put under services and youth.
Well, the first question is, are you okay with the categories?
The question is whether the categories are accurate or whether the organizations really only speak to one of the categories. And most of them cover more than one category. So how do we determine which is the primary objective for the organization? Because it is all over the map now. So how do we streamline it so that when we're talking about education programs, we know that all of the nonprofits are dealing primarily with education programs or primarily with children and youth. And I don't know how you divide those two, you know? So I think.
Hence my question about.
Right, that is the problem.
Well, it's not too bad. I mean, but for example, to your point, look at CRAB. CRAB is under education programs for children/youth. I mean, is that the best place for them? I mean, do they educate or do they? I don't even know if we have a category for them because it's, you know, it's
special needs and mobility issues too. I want to add that to the mix.
Where is that? Do we have that?
She wants to add it.
There is no category.
I'm just saying the instance that I was talking about is special needs and mobility issues with CRAB.
Right. We don't have anything for special needs, and there was, you know, I'm sure there's another example.
Some of the children that they serve do have special needs.
Well, why don't we at least fix the duplications, and then we can, when we look at their, you know, more in detail, we might have a comment about what category they should be in. But it is, you know, it is a general question. You know, how much of these funds do we want? We heard so much about things getting worse in the recovery area, you know. So, like, how much do we want to put here, here, and here? And there's a lot under education, right?
Right. And I still would also like to see, for instance, like education programs for adults in the Center of Help. Unless there's someplace else that I haven't seen them yet, it does not appear that they've done a grant request for 2025.
Say that one again. What's the company?
Center of Help under education programs for adults.
So you found one that shouldn't be listed at all?
Well, if they haven't done a grant, so I understand that we're using that 11,250 that they adopted
from last year.
Yeah, from in 24.
Yeah. That's why we have to
as
list
a
them.
subtotal. Yeah. But I'd like to see those perhaps at the bottom of the rest of the list as a subcategory of that category. Because for me, it would clean up the way that we're looking at these different programs, because we're seeing what's being funded this year, what was being funded last year, but it's not being funded this year, along with their byline that if they were funded last year, they're looking to be funded this year and what we're funding for this year. And that gives us I think a clearer picture. When I look at this, it's confusing that Center of Help, I'm like, oh, great, we've got a Hispanic organization that we're helping, but yet we don't, because
they didn't ask
for a grant this year.
So that's your driving factor there, is that the data sort, if you will, should be the grant requests that came in this year. Is that
First,
right? Okay,
yes.
Yeah. So
and anybody that was in last year that didn't read, let's put them at the bottom of that list. I understand that they're in alphabetical order. I get that. But if we could put them
like
at
an
the
Excel thing.
What was the form that we used last year? We didn't seem to have this confusion last year.
It's this one, because this is it.
No, it's not.
It's this same outline
Same.
But it's not the same form that we used. I mean, it may have the same headings, but there's missing information.
That's why I'm confused on what form you all are looking at, because I don't have duplicates listed on the sheets that I have.
You don't have what?
I don't have duplicates. I know you all said like there were people listed, more than once.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to share this
I
with
think
you.
that,
Yeah.
I think it's possible
Okay.
that
Well, let me
in
start
putting
with the
together the
basic question.
appendix,
Do you have last year's budget?
there was a
Dave, do you
match
have it?
against
Yes.
last year's
I'm
list.
assuming, looking at this, Sheila, that this is last
Because
year's
the
budget.
Appendix E does look a
Which
little.
one are you reading now?
I must don't have
Fiscal
that.
year 2024.
Yeah, which
document.
page?
in the
We have
budget
4
book.
pages
We can-
that
Oh,
are,
the grand
But
total.
okay.
The grand
Just
total.
in the interest of
The grand total, which is not on the last, okay, it is page 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
So,
But just in the interest of time, I think we'll certainly take back looking at that Appendix E. And what I'd like to suggest is we'll put together a draft to try to address the concerns that you've raised, run it by you just to make sure it really does. And then if there's some other additional tweaks, then we can come back with those.
okay.
Can we have this by Wednesday when we bring the rest of the groups in?
Should be able to.
Thursday.
Or something that we can
Thursday
use.
is when
Not
they're coming
tomorrow,
back.
right.
Thursday, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Kaylin, if, I'm going to be giddy if this is correct. Do you have 37 that were presented today? You do? Oh, okay, that's good.
Rhonda
That
has
makes
a
me very
question.
happy.
Alderman.
Okay. Okay, yeah, sure.
I have a question. This might be helpful, I don't know. When we look at our 42 list of city parks, each one of them listed has like 15 things that you check off, if it has an amenity, if it's a playground, if it has a grill, I think, or whatever is listed. Would it be, and it might be 15 of them. Some parks got 12 things, checked off that they have in the park. Some may have only 2. Are they on the water? Would it be helpful if we had some sort of grid like that for these organizations to check off? Based on everything we've received, we kind of got an idea of what the categories are. But would it be good to check off in each one of those organizations what they have to offer? Is it a youth thing? Is it a family? Is it a wellness? Is it and then we can kind of see, have a better idea of what each one is offering. Because some may be offering 15, some may be offering 3. But it depends on, and it shouldn't be based on numbers either, how many.
Yeah.
But that might be easier, I'm visual, might
Well, I
be
don't
easier
think
to
So
kind
if
of
you
see.
used these categories and did it as a grid
Right.
and Anne Arundel County CASA, well, that's not a, oh yeah, sure, CASA. And
They might hit on 2 categories.
They might hit on homelessness because if you're a foster, then you maybe are considered homelessness, but it's also on children's services, youth services for youth, and
Yeah.
So,
so they would have 2 check marks.
Right. Some
It
may
would be
have
more of a
5.
grid,
I mean, I
yeah.
don't know. Probably there, I'd say you probably could almost get up to 15 based on because
Well,
it is a wide breadth
yeah.
of.
We don't want 15, we only want these.
Well, I mean, let's be careful because this was all generated by the city code. Again, it could be the chicken and egg here, but, it was 4 general statements, although you could subdivide this into.
You don't have to do it this year. This might be something for next year.
So,
And the code only actually lists the 4 categories,
yeah.
right? It
In the
doesn't list
code-
those subcategories
Yeah, the
of
code
homelessness
says
and.
empower youth, families, and individuals to move towards an improved
Right.
quality of life and self-sufficiency, number 1. Number 2, provide programs that preserve and enhance a community's character. That one, I don't know how that got in there. And 3, sorry, I'm just, that's like, anyways. 3 is provide programs that contribute to a vibrant economy. Or 4, promotes programs that are integral to community revitalization, economic development, and environmental sustainability. So it's interesting because even within that, if like the opioid epidemic, which one would that fall under? The first one, maybe? I mean, this-
Improve
with the
quality of
logic-
life.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, we'll put together a draft,
Okay.
run it by you, see if that kind of addresses the concerns.
Is 1:30 still, because what we didn't get this year, and maybe if we have time when we reconvene, is we'd like to know what your process was, what you sent out. You remember last year you presented, Erin, what the logic was. You had a logic in awarding, your logic in awarding. There is a lot of, I commend you because there's a lot of difference from last year. So it was a whole fresh look at it. Did you pick up on that? Did you kind of pick up on that they looked at some new ones and
Well, we had almost twice as many last year as we had in the previous year.
Yeah. So I'm going to make a copy of this for you, Vicki, just you look at my asterisks, and we'll do it that way. But let's just talk schedule real quick. Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Thursday.
Oh, God.
Oh, we're talking, I'm sorry, I thought we're still talking this. Now we're going on to,
I thought today was Wednesday.
okay.
Stay with me.
So Thursday, we're going back to community grants.
Yeah, let's talk about that, so you guys know when you're coming back. So did we decide to do you first thing in the morning and push capital projects?
No, I thought
We had
So
said
it's the
1
other way
o'clock
around.
here on Thursday.
Okay. Thursday, we have capital projects, and then we don't have anything until 3, which is a work session.
I thought
We said 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock for community grants.
Okay, that, we were going to put them in before the work
Isn't that
session.
what we said? Isn't that what you told folks?
Yeah, that is
okay.
what we warned
Okay,
folks about.
that's right. I'm sorry, I had a bad memory. Okay, so 1 o'clock Thursday is when we
Yep.
reconvene. And that, I mean, I have here then, if this list is still accurate, we just have about a dozen or so at the most, right? Okay, we did really well today, I thought.
Yeah, you got through a lot of them.
Okay, and
And
so,
a really good job by Aisha and Aaron corralling such a large group.
God help us. And Kaylin, what is the document called for the questions?
It will be called Community Grants, well, Alderwomen/Alderman Community Grants question.
And it's under Google Docs?
Yes.
Okay,
Put it under.
okay. We
I
can
will
start.
put it in the drive.
And tomorrow is Wednesday, and according to this, we have debt affordability at 9:30 break, and then enterprise fund, we have Stantec, we have Davenport and Stantec,
And then Brian.
and then IT is after lunch break. So,
Is there actually a lunch break?
well, it says 11:45 to 12:15, but sometimes that squishes into 15 minutes. It depends how the two presenters go. So that's what it does.
Depends on what we tell the two presenters that they need to be doing, because we're not doing a very good job.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to,
I know, and we're trying to get everybody's questions in and everything else, but we also added those additional days on in case we need to bring people back.
well, yeah, I mean, my objective is that we don't want to have to bring them back.
Right.
So what would be a way to limit that? Limit questions or limit I thought they were doing pretty well on their presentations. Just limit the questions, is that your observation? Limit.
I would say limit it to questions instead of. See, the questions on the presentation would be great, but that's just me.
Well, it's baby steps. This year we've got what we, so we see what that worksheet looks like. It seems to be working with the Q&A. All right, so at this time, is there anything else for the good of the order? If not, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All righty.